Hey. Okay, we're live from Fort Huron, Michigan. Okay. I got to go down and cook some more bacon here shortly. Okay, we're live from Fort Huron, Michigan. Yeah, well, I can eat a whole package of bacon myself, and I don't eat it that often. Like another half a pack of bacon, because I just cut it down the center. I'll cook it up and I'll feed the rest of the
Little
dogs.
bacon strips, yeah.
Yeah, there's a tree there. So. Okay. How about that? Geez, nobody there yet? What's going on here? Okay. I don't know what you guys are watching. Trump's playing. Geez, what a bunch of freaking idiots. It said right up there in the corner when the guy clicks on it, it goes prime air. Then coming from a cargo area. Well, I can understand the plane being over there in that area, but it's not his plane yet. People are so stupid. Skylark, and they think it's funny. Yeah, it's just people freaking. He hadn't even boarded the plane yet. It's just sitting there waiting for him to show up. No, look, it's on. No, look, we got to follow him. Hey, W, good evening and welcome.
And Nanya. W and Nanya.
Nanya who? Yeah, none of your business.
TJ. I think TJ wanted to be first, but he didn't make it. He ended up being third.
Hey, yeah. Hey, sorry, TJ. Maybe next time. Yeah, anybody get back to me yet?
Do you think TJ is he working today?
I don't know if TJ's working or not. He was around quite a while this morning. So
Yeah, he was, but he's been working that afternoon shift. That's what I was wondering. Because remember, he sits and eats his lunch in his car. Might be his day off. Boy, is it brutally hot here. Is it hot there, Paul?
I don't think it's that hot, is it?
82 degrees, but feels like 94 here.
Let me see. My fast computer's working here. Hang on. Frickin' the internet. Frickin' terrible. Look at it. Won't even come up. Your weather channel come up? It wouldn't even come up earlier. Let me go to the other one. It come up. 79 feels like 93 right now, Paul.
Yeah.
Strong storm threat in southern Ontario. Damaging winds, slight tornado risk. Be aware. Look for updates. 90% chance of risk of thunderstorms overnight. Risk of thunderstorm in the afternoon, 70%. Less than 0.1 of an inch. That's not a lot in our area.
Yeah, I was out earlier and it didn't feel that warm, but because I flew that shift earlier. And
I was out, didn't feel that warm. I had to go get some milk.
Yeah, I just went out and had to refill my peanut buckets. And it's like, oh my God, is it hot out there?
I'm just wondering, I'm looking at it, not even nothing even in our area. But so when they talk about Southern Ontario, they think south of the North Bay. Sometimes so. Hey, so Time to Fly is here. Nanya and Jody, of course.
Jody's here, yep. He said, sun's out now and it's hot there too. And here comes Dominic.
Up there, finally come up. A good one.
Hey, Dominic.
Hey, Dominic. Let's go ahead.
Zoom is being an absolute nuisance this morning.
Okay, so we go to share a screen, go to optimize, Oh, gotta click the screen first. Okay, share. And
Yay.
and look, there's not that much around, Paul. You got a little bit down there, but I don't know where they're getting thunderstorms from. There's no yellows or reds or nothing here. Everything's kind of clearing out. Yeah, it's me. Way over here tonight. Look at that building up
Oh,
over
there
here.
comes the red.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the red.
Oh, there we go.
Down
Nice.
Detroit
There
area,
you
yeah.
go. Just
And
comes out
it
of
loops,
nowhere.
it loops back up to you again, Paul.
Yeah, just kind of watching here. Okay, but see, that is 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Well, Detroit's really popping up. There's
And
10,
then 10 o'clock,
well, 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock. Right,
and then 11 o'clock. Go to 11 o'clock, Paul. Oh, look at you.
And away we go.
yeah, it's in there. Now that could get pop up thunderstorms tonight. Gonna be
Yeah.
a noisy night by the sounds of it.
Yeah. Always good viewing.
How come you can get farther than a few hours ahead? Do you pay for yours or something? You got the Weather Channel too,
Well,
right?
yeah, I got the Weather Channel, but see, you got a choice of either 12 hours or it's 24 hours.
Okay, here.
Oh,
Oh, sorry, wrong one. Sorry, wrong screen.
again.
I'm gonna try this
Rookie
again.
mistake.
Here. Gonna share the screen now. This is the one. Okay, so down here at the bottom, it says radar, cloud, temperature. Oh, here. I can't. Mine don't give me 72 hours.
Oh, mine gives me yeah.
I don't-
Mm. Maybe it's a Canadian thing.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, Canadians don't need to know that soon ahead of time.
Yeah.
Little llama Laura. Woohoo! What's
Hello,
happening?
Laura. Hello, everybody. Yeah, fine. I got the chat working. L, W, Darren.
Well,
See across the top, Paul.
yeah.
Let me see. I'll screen share it. Okay, here's my screen.
Yeah.
Today, hourly, 10-day, weekend, monthly, radar, video, and forecast. And under
Yeah.
forecast, you got yesterday's weather, cold, whatever.
Okay, well, I'll go back to that one and see what forecast. Air quality forecast, that's it. Radar, yeah, but let me
See down here?
Yeah.
24 hours,
Yeah, but I
2 hours.
can't get that for some reason. All right, go to radar. See, if I go to radar, it doesn't give me that.
There's 24-hour radar.
Okay, no.
So I'll start it. There's
Yeah,
10
let's
o'clock
go.
tonight.
Oh, that doesn't look good.
Oh, hey,
There's overnight. That's 12:30. And there is about 2 o'clock. And
Right.
there is 8 in the morning.
just clearing up by the morning. Like I can go today, hourly, 10-day weekend, all that stuff, but it's not. Like it's just I can change the. What if I change it to Canada or something else? There's thunderstorm watch. Okay, if I change, what's a hybrid? Okay, let's try that. Okay, let's. I want radar. Nope, a hybrid don't give me anything.
Mm. Yep.
For fun of it, I'm gonna change it to no, the Americas. United States English. See if that helps.
Mm.
Nope, still can't get it.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
There's the back to Canada English.
Hmm.
Yeah. Even when I do the drop down, there's no Fahrenheit. Okay, cool. Rain, freezing rain, mix, snow, connect with us. Yeah, whatever.
Hmm.
You don't even have a. It's the Weather Channel. Yeah, you're the same one as I got. why don't give me all the extra stuff? The thunderstorm is possible after 10 p.m. I can't even go to a settings. Just one warning, that's all. I can't even, no place to go to even on menu. There, it's close.
Laura, it's in the chat.
Yep, there. That Laura person is definitely there.
Hmm.
I think that's that one out of England, isn't it? The UK. Hey, Steve Carpenter.
Say,
I don't think there's anything on there. So. Okay. Connect with us. Facebook, Twitter, or X, or whatever the hell it is. YouTube. What happened to go to YouTube? Weather Channel. Cool. Mhm. Do different weather stuff, I guess. Yeah. Monthly. Use. Privacy settings. Well, that's it. Data rights. No, just, manage data.
TJ says Jody. TJ, are you working or are you not working today?
When you go to the data rights.
Hey, Mark R. White, how you doing? And of course, Steve Carpenter's here.
I can. That don't work. Okay, let's go back to here.
Oh, he's TJ's off tomorrow and Saturday, so he's at work right now.
okay.
You didn't mention you had the day off when you were in this morning.
No, that just shows clouds, temperatures. All airs.
Nunya says he can hear your giggles already, TJ.
Yeah.
Steve, are they getting things cleaned up out there in California after the big hurricane went through, or everything getting back to normal?
Temperature of wind. Temperature, precipitation. Okay. Specialty map. Local, view the current you got by yourself. Franklin, Cape, so on. Layers and style, map style, light, dark, grayscale. Radar time. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe. Aim map layer. Flood, marine.
Mark says he's watching Trump and his lawyer being arrested. Is that on the news?
Mark, I don't know where. He's still in New Jersey. He hasn't even landed there yet. I don't think. Down in thing there yet.
Let me go over and check the news channels. 214.
They say he hasn't even left New Jersey yet. They're just getting ready to get on his airplane now. Might be showing one from
Yeah, old footage maybe.
old footage or something. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it anywhere on there, Paul,
What? Him? No.
on the news.
Go to- He's going to be down there at 7:30 tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, he hadn't even left New Jersey yet. If you go here to this guy, did I do the right screen this time? Yeah, I did. Trump en route to Georgia surrender, but they're still tracking his plane. That even left New Jersey yet. So I don't know what they're watching, whoever it is, Mark or whatever.
Unless he's not flying his own plane, he might have rented one for the day.
But it's not till 7:30 tonight, Eastern Standard Time. So which is almost 2 hours.
Well, it doesn't take him that long to get there, but the point being, the only reason I'm saying he might rent somebody else another, like a private plane, is because he doesn't want to draw all that attention to himself. If I had his money, that's what I'd do.
Now I see they want I thought they were trying to go for May 1st or something for the trial. Now they want to go this October.
What's up, everybody?
Hello, Justin.
Yeah, just breaking news right now. Now, Agenda Free TV, they're tracking this plane, but his plane hasn't even taken off yet. But it's probably only about an hour and a half down there, so they got everything timed out, I imagine.
What are you talking about?
Oh, Trump flying from New Jersey down to Fulton County, Georgia to turn himself in.
You know, the news media is all in a hype.
Oh, they go nuts over this stupid
The
stuff.
news media love a story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Steve. He'll have Secret Service with him too.
Yeah.
Well, from what I was reading too, apparently so if they were to like formally like charge him and he was found guilty, he doesn't even actually have to serve it in jail because of his Secret Service detail.
Yeah.
Regardless if he gets convicted of a crime, he's still allowed that Secret Service detail and they won't allow him to be in a prison. So he'll end up having to do like house arrest or something.
Yeah.
Because regardless of that, you get Secret Service detail for life, regardless of what you do.
Yeah.
And
You
apparently-
can't go with you to murder somebody.
Well, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that they can supersede somebody going like ex-president going to actual jail. That
And-
they can keep them from actually going to a prison.
PJ, what it boils down to is they're charging Trump with all kinds of election laws, even though, as an American, even if you're president or whatever, you have the right to your opinion and the right to express it. But they said that he was interfering with elections because he called it an illegal election and he didn't agree with it. So therefore, he's a bad guy. That's the Democrats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he got in trouble for having classified documents.
He did, but Biden's got the same ones.
Yeah.
It's all a conspiracy against Trump. Now,
Well, Stacey Abrams, where he's going down to Georgia, she still says they stole the election from her.
yep,
She's still saying it, but she's a Democrat. I look at the Hillary Clinton. She's still saying that their election.
Yep. the day afterwards, she said that
Yeah.
they all claim that the elections were rigged against them, but then none of them got charged with anything. And
that.
not only did they charge Donald Trump, he charged 10 or 12 of his people that worked with him or for him as co-conspirators.
No, I think they tried to do that and they all turned on him because they didn't want to get in trouble.
No, because they arraigned a couple of them this morning.
Uh,
Mark Meadows.
Giuliani and somebody else.
yeah, that's what I thought, Steve. Yeah, so he won't actually go to prison even if he is convicted. He'll end up serving it out at his house or something somewhere, probably down here in Florida or something. He'll be on house arrest because they're not going to put him in a prison.
Those planes
See if
haven't
it's-
turned on yet.
If he was in a prison, bro, they'd literally have to have a prison for himself because otherwise they wouldn't, I mean, half the prison would have to be shut off just for him. There's no way the Secret Service is going to do that.
It's an interesting situation on
It's
being a foreigner.
all a joke. All they're doing is trying to stop him from campaigning. I don't think they can even. I think they even figure that he'll probably get away with it. But the problem is that they can tie him up so he can't campaign, right?
Yep, that's what they're trying to do.
And spend lots of money.
They're trying
And
to force
they,
him out of it.
there's several U.S. prosecutors that were working on the Hunter Biden case said that there's no way that he should be pardoned or he should be in jail for all the things he did. He illegally got a handgun and he was a felon and the felony is disappeared.
Yep, all that stuff.
Well, his dad can pardon him technically.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
we all know that wasn't going to happen as long as his dad's in office.
Mm. So he needs to be removed from office then.
Because, like I said, when you're president, you have the power to pardon anybody you want. I mean, if he wanted to go in and pardon Jeffrey Dahmer, he could. I mean, it doesn't matter what the crimes are.
And why was Biden carbon copy emails sent out that was government business to Hunter about Burisma?
Yep.
He's not a government official. Why is he getting government records of what the government's going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
It's a mess.
Oh.
But then
Yeah.
that just goes to show you, I'm a firm believer in term limits.
Yep.
And Joe Biden's never had another job other than being running in Congress.
Yeah, we got
I
the same
think-
problem down here. So
I think
It's not-
all
yeah,
offices.
it's not exclusive to America, Canada, the same in the US, and probably the same in the UK.
I think all political offices, as far as like governors and up, should all have term limits, to be
Well, you
honest.
know, in
Mm.
Michigan, we voted to put term limits on
Or
our
at least the federal
representatives and
level.
whatever, and everybody. And they did it to, if you have a 4-year office, you can only have it three consecutive terms. And if it's a 2-year office, you can get six times, okay? So, and that's it. And it
Well,
was supposed to do it for federal government too, but the Democrats went to the Supreme Court and had it tossed out because it's not fair, because Michigan would be underserved while all the other states don't have that, and they would have
Mhm.
senior. You'd never get to be a senior, whatever in that.
Well, the federal government, the Congress would never do it because they're the ones that have to pass that,
Exactly.
and they're not gonna hem themselves in like that. No, we'll just have to see how it pans out.
Hey, Lenny.
Hey,
What's up,
Lynn?
everybody? Lynn, Mark, W. Anybody else that I missed? Nunya, TJ.
Everyone else.
And he's going to be here's what Lynn sent in. I'll screen share it.
I'm saying if you went to any of these or any of these,
$200,000 bond, and he's going to be charged with racketeering. The Biden family is the biggest racket we got going.
yeah, no kidding.
$200,000 bond, that ain't nothing. He'll get out.
Hey, Lynn.
They couldn't set that bond high enough to,
To stop him. No.
no, I don't care if they set it at $5 million, he'd get out.
Yep.
And they can only set it so high too. They're not allowed to go. They wouldn't go like to a ridiculous amount. I think it can only be to a certain extent depending on the crime. They can only go so high with it, so there's no point in even
Mhm.
trying to stop that.
Yeah, 19 other defendants. Steve Carpenter was telling me. They've charged 19 other people in the same conspiracy.
Mm.
And they're going to try them all at once.
That's
Really?
what they're going to try and do.
They're gonna keep trying, and
Oh,
they're
yeah.
gonna keep failing.
Well, everything they've thrown at them so far hasn't stuck. And that thing over the January 6th fucking resurrection or something they call it. You see that they got rid of all the evidence they had?
Yeah.
But the thing is, at the point of the January 6th resurrection, at that point, he was still president. So he's immune from prosecution.
Yep, they're just gonna keep trying.
They're just trying to tie him up. That's all.
Yeah.
Douchebags.
Hey, Joe. How you doing? Joe Merkus here.
There you go.
Here comes Steve Carpenter with some wisdom for us.
Yeah.
All right. The man, he knows what's going on there. He knows the truth. He wouldn't pull our leg on anything, would he, Steve?
No.
He's stuck with his own version of Biden in California.
Yeah.
Old Newsom. that
Oh,
jackass.
Gavin Newsom. He's the California connection.
He reminds me of the American version of Trudeau.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Good. How is everybody?
We're just debating the Biden bullshit stuff.
Oh, I know. One of the best things,
Well, I mean, technically he is a flight risk because he does have private planes and stuff.
He's already got
But
houses
one
in different
you would
countries.
have to find a country that's willing to take him and actually, say, oh, we're not turning him over. And that's a whole relations nightmare in itself. So
one of the things you were talking about, Justin, and so were you, Paul, is Dan Bongino had the best analogy out of the whole thing. He says he should show up and call their bluff and don't post bond, which means that they would have to arrest him and put him in jail, which immediately then the Secret Service takes over everything around Trump. That means the jail, the prison, anything that he's in there, they have control over it, the top level of control over any other enforcement agency.
yeah, because no matter what he's done, he has the right to Secret Service detail for the
Well,
rest
the
of his
only
life.
the only thing that makes me wonder, Steve, is this:
Uh-huh.
the way we have seen the FBI corrupted and with the Attorney General's corrupted.
Oh, yeah.
How far do their little quick fingers work into the Secret Service and other things, and
Well,
because
that's
it's so corrupt from the top down.
Yeah, because Dan was quoting the article of in the Secret Service articles governing their job of a president and or ex-president, and it's like there's no way for them to even work around it, because they would have to put up all the Secret Service agents around with him and secure that whole entire area. And that's why Dan, I think, had a great idea. Call their bluff. Don't put up a bond and say, what are you going to do now? You've do this, just like tit for tat, right back at them. I thought it was a great idea.
I tried to watch the debate earlier, but there's not a single video on YouTube that's got the whole debate.
I watched it yesterday on ABC.
But I was trying to watch I had to watch it in a bunch of separate clips because.
No, ABC had the whole thing. It was 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah,
long.
but if you go on YouTube, it's all in little like 10-minute and 5-minute segments. I couldn't find a single video.
I'll tell you what, it's not worth any of it. I know I watched it, and all it was is who was going to puff up bigger on the stage. And to me, Vivek won hands down as far as being the best promoter on stage.
Well, really, did they talk about politics, or they just talk about killing each other? I mean,
Just
really,
more or less.
what's their policies? What am I going to do? And if I get in, and no, none of that.
Yeah, the general BS.
Yeah.
I know Haley and Vivek were going back and forth against each other. And so were Pence against Vivek. But the only two that really came up on top, and I think the only good thing that the Fox News contributors called out, is every single one of them. And the reason that Trump did not go is because in order to be on stage, you had to sign a document stating that you would support the RNC nomination. Well, Trump already knows that they're doing everything they can not for him to be nominated. And what's her name? Ronna McDaniels, for the head of the RNC. She is totally against it. They should have kicked her ass out the door the way she has been running it. But it's all the big money and PAC supporters. And that's where it's coming from. And they want either DeSantis or Pence on some of them.
Pence is a jackass.
Oh.
I didn't like him from the time he ran with Trump.
Mm-hmm. Well, what he tried to, he did try, Paul, he did try to defend himself, because one of the other questions said, do you feel that Pence did the right thing for January 6th? which is utter BS, and so is Pence because he's a liar. He had every right to return the votes back to the electorate. He had the right, because what nobody knows is secretly Nancy Pelosi held a session before they reconvened to approve the vote that took a language and changed it where the vice president does not have the authority. If he didn't have the authority in the right place, why did they write a piece of legislation, had it ready to go, and voted on it 30 minutes before they reconvened to take away the power of the vice president doing that?
Yeah, it's fucking stupid shit.
Madness.
Everybody's lying is what it
Oh.
is.
It's the devil you know or the devil you don't know is when it comes to politics.
Yeah, that's right. The old adage, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a shame. The one real shame is what's going on over at Maui. That's tragic.
Mm.
Did you hear the one representative came out of I don't know where it was from, Lanai or one of the other islands. 146 bodies were washed ashore on the island of Lanai
Very
that were
interesting.
recovered.
It looks like a Chinese sub crashed.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah, it was this Chinese nuclear sub. Crashed near disputed waters.
Hit another vessel or just crashed into something?
Crashed near disputed Taiwan Strait, sparking a major incident. It doesn't say. I swear they can't make anything good over there. That's everything they make is like the Wish version of the U.S. military. I swear to God, it is.
I can't think of the technical name of it, but did you hear about the laser that was installed on one of the USS carriers?
Mm.
Yeah, I think it was the Zamwalt.
I don't
Yeah,
know if it was,
something like
no, on a carrier.
Oh, it was on a carrier. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was thinking a destroyer.
Yeah, on a carrier, and which with
That's-
nuclear power, it has unlimited amount of energy it can keep producing.
That's a smart way to do it, though.
Mhm. Yeah, the Zamwalt, that's the one, that's the ship that I was telling you about that left San Diego and was headed to Mississippi as its new home port.
Oh, we all know who blew up that plane, Mark.
Yeah,
conspiracy.
yeah,
We know 100% who blew that plane up.
exactly.
Aliens.
Yeah. Alien technology.
Well, yeah, I don't know why they stopped Wagner. They should have just went all the way. They got super close to Moscow. Got a bunch
Yeah,
of
why did
cities
they
taken
stop?
over, almost with no effort. Russian military was giving up, going on their side, taking their side, and then they got almost all the way to Moscow, and then they just gave up and walked away. I was like, what the hell?
Mm.
Y'all should have just took the whole damn thing. I don't know if that would have been better than it is now, but but like I said, they took a bunch of cities without almost no effort or fighting. Yeah, we'll see, Joe. I think China's a lot more talk than they are action. They can't even build a building correctly.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it's, a quarter of the price.
Oh, right, but when you grab the cement wall, it crumbles in your hand. Yeah. I could build a high rise better than they could with styrofoam.
Yeah.
You see,
Lazier.
fake shark and put it in a river in Idaho, and they put it up on the bank, and being dead, right? Everybody's panicking. Fishing game's going to settle down. It's a joke from somebody because sharks don't live in freshwater. Second of all, it's landlocked. There's no way for a shark to get into.
Well,
Yeah.
there is the bull shark though. Remember, Paul, that can swim upriver into freshwater out of saltwater, but it goes back and forth.
Yeah, but this one here is landlocked. Can't the lake?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because they found bull sharks tons of times in lakes from storm surges and all kinds of shit, where they just rode the storm surges in. and
But
ended up in a
Idaho is
lake
just in the
somewhere.
middle of the U.S. for Christ's sakes.
That would
Yeah,
be tough to do.
Yeah, they've actually found them as far up as the Mississippi River. Up in
Hmm.
the Midwest, the bull sharks have made it that far inland.
Yeah, brackish sharks, exactly.
And bull sharks are mean as shit too.
Yeah.
I saw a video, it was actually over in Australia, and a bull shark and a sea croc were going at it.
Mhm.
Yeah, he wasn't having none of that crocodile's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are, Joe.
Yeah, if they've found them here and there. I mean, they're not that prevalent, but they have found them. In Florida, they get found all the time, and no, not all the time, but usually after storms, they might find one or two in some lakes. If it's in an area that had a bad storm surge.
So whereabouts was it found up in Idaho? Do you know, Paul?
Geez, now I lost it now. I wonder if I can go back and find it here.
Oh, Joe, that looks so good. Look what Joe's having for dinner.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Well, I had pizza for lunch, so
Yummy.
nothing like meat lovers, man.
There you go.
yeah. I had the Americana. Something like that. I had something with all spices on it. And jalapenos.
Oh,
pepperoni.
look at that pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. It's in the chat there, Steve.
Okay, I will bring that up. Thank you.
Hey, Justin, I put in the chat a link that gives you an hour and 45 minutes of the debate last night.
Let me see, cause I couldn't find one earlier. All I kept finding was people that were doing commentary, bunch of commentary. I was having to sit and listen to them talk for 20 minutes in between every sentence.
You say it's a salmon shark.
Mm.
No, that
Sounds
wasn't it
nice.
either, Paul. That guy's literally just talking the whole time through the whole video.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. It must have been copyrighted then.
Yeah, because I
Maybe.
watched it. I watched it earlier today.
I couldn't find more than a 10-minute long clip of it. So I was just kind of watching bits and pieces, kind of just catching the highlights of it.
Wow.
Hey, so I'll take that down then.
Oh yeah, the bull shark's extremely dangerous, Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are super mean. They're actually one of the most vicious sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's-
For attacks on
That's my bull
humans.
sharks.
Yeah, for attacks on humans, that's the most. I was wondering if it was up the big lake up in northern Idaho called Lake Penn, which is up by Sandpoint. And what's interesting is they did testing at the very beginning of before World War II of submarines up in this lake because it's so
Mm.
deep. And I'm sitting there going, how in the world did you get a submarine up there?
Interesting. And here comes Rod.
Hey,
Hello.
oh, yeah.
Hello, Rod.
Good evening.
My toy just came back.
You got it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
So did you do a shorts unboxing?
No. I got to figure out whether whether they sent the same drone back. They fixed it under warranty. They fixed it under warranty. So, oh
There's
fuck
some
yeah!
sort
They
of
sent the same.
unboxing.
They
The
sent the same
ISMR,
drone.
yeah.
They sent the same drone back. There's a reason I know. I don't know that you can see it. Anyways, up in here on the inside,
Yeah.
there's kind of a brown dirt mark that was there from eating the wood chip.
Hey,
Because that's
Well,
kind of what
it's
broke,
also
that's
check
kind of
your
what broke the motor.
check your serial number.
Yeah. No, I was gonna do that, but now that I've actually seen it, because it was a spot that I didn't clean before I sent the drone in.
Mhm.
Yeah, they fixed it. So it was the ECS board, is what they told me. I thought it was the motor. But it was the ECS board, so they fixed it under warranty, which is why I didn't use Care Refresh. Because I've already done Care Refresh and a flyaway already. So I probably
Mhm.
only have one Care Refresh left for the next year.
Well, that's good.
And the odds are, yeah, I'll probably break it again. As long as I don't put it in the ocean again.
mm,
But yeah, it's the same drone. And they sent it back with props. Now I have more props.
yay.
Because I sent it in with no props because I had the
Good then.
I had the master air screws. I hate these props. These
Hey,
props
Justin, I
break.
sent you a private chat.
But I'm gonna keep the stupid little brown box that they shipped the DJI box in just in case I have to.
You gotta go in and you gotta click on the little box inside that post.
Mhm.
Hey, there's that JDS fellow again.
JDS.
Yeah, right. I'll save that for later to watch.
No, not number one. You're number 14th.
So Steve, do you think they left it bound?
Probably.
They
Yeah.
probably did. I don't know how they tested it, but they probably didn't bind. They probably didn't bind it to a controller. So
Well, you'll find out soon enough.
Does it
yeah,
have you-
I'm turning mine on now. So
Oh, so this is the first time you turned it on. Okay.
yeah, since it came back. No, they changed it. It's not connected. I could tell.
What's up, JDS?
Bummer. That because isn't there a big problem of binding it again? Or is that the smart controller?
No.
Well,
You guys-
sometimes when you buy something from somebody else,
No. This is my drone.
that's
so
that's your drone. But once you bind it, it's usually bound to you.
Oh, it's bound on the account for sure. I meant the controller to the drone.
Yeah.
So they bound another remote and controller. to the
Probably
drone.
to test it, right? To another controller.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
So there I bound the joystick to it. Now I got to oh crap.
So Rod, where did it go out to California?
Austin, Texas, down in
Austin,
Texas.
Texas. Yeah, either Austin, Texas or California.
Why they don't have one in Florida is beyond me.
Hmm.
But their repair center is in Texas.
Like when
I don't know.
when I had a problem with it with my first Inspire, I had to send it to LA, I think it was.
Yeah,
Oh, there's the button.
I mean, they have not an actual, they do have Drone Nerds here. They're an official DJI repair center. And
Yeah,
so
I was
is,
dealing right directly with DJI repair. But, you know, usually some of the bigger dealers are authorized repairs.
You
Hmm.
got in Florida, you got Drone Nerds and then whatever the name of Dubbo's company is. I can't remember the name of his company.
Drone Works? I don't
Yeah.
think Drone.
What was Drone Works?
They're an official.
Yeah, that's
retailer.
right. The repair piece is done by Zach up in New York. Let's
Yeah.
see here. Hey guys, guess what?
can you see?
It's
I can,
working.
I can see it's working.
We don't see crap. We just see this ugly guy with the goggles
Hmm.
on.
Yeah,
Good for you. That was pretty good turnaround time.
no, it's about 2 weeks total.
Yeah.
Tomorrow would be 14 days.
What's up,
So
Donald?
for a repair, yeah, 2
Well,
weeks.
for shipping and repair and
Mhm.
everything else, you know?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
You know, if I'd have had Care Refresh, I'd have had it back by like Tuesday or Wednesday. Then, or actually, since I would have shipped it on Friday, I'd have probably had it back on Tuesday after it happened. But
My next question is, now that it's gone back to them and they've tested everything, can you still buy Care Refresh?
it's got Care Refresh on it.
Oh, okay.
It's still got it on it. I bought it for 2 years.
Okay. Yeah. I was just wondering because I usually always buy mine with the Care Refresh, anything that's expensive, you know?
It's not even expensive. It's only like $179 for 2 years on the Avata. It's actually cheap.
Yeah, I'm talking about the drone.
Oh yeah, the drone.
Because like my first Inspire 1 was $3,600 with one battery in the case
Mm.
and the controller.
So
You bet I was gonna buy Care Refresh for that.
now what I got to do is plug my phone in because this is the goggles 2 that doesn't have the remote ID.
Yeah, in fact, I've got on my Autel Light Plus.
Yeah.
I got a notification that the care, their care package that they had, and mine is up, and they've got a second year I can get for it.
Oh,
but
they're offering another one.
Yeah, but you can't just do it automatically.
does-
You got to call them.
DJI does the same thing. So
Hey,
No, I
Paul,
know.
do
I've
you
got
have-
it on
do
my
you
other
have
DJI
Care
drones.
Refresh on your account?
Yep.
Okay.
okay, what the hell? I thought I did the goggles update.
Well, Steve, when you first got your drone, and they're saying that the support is up on it, did you have the option of a 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year?
It was the 1 year, and I got it, and then now they're saying I can get a second year.
Okay. Because I know DJI offers you multiple years if you want to pay more.
Yeah,
And you get a- you get a
now they do.
discount on it, yeah.
Right. Because I know my Air 2, I bought the 2-year plan with that.
Yep.
My dumb goggles wants an IMU up or IMU calibration.
Yeah.
Well, time to start calibrating.
Yep.
I don't need this dumbass guide. Just connect to the damn.
Yeah, I was out at the commercial project today, and I took my GoPro out there, and I turn it on, and I start to shoot. It says there's an update available. No,
Yeah.
I don't want to update it. I'll update when I get home.
That's always the
Mm.
way. isn't it?
You know what the worst, things to do an update on that take forever are freaking iPhones and iPads.
Yeah.
Oh my God, their updates
Mm.
take forever.
Well, they're faster on the newer models. I
mean-
noticed that. It depends on the processor
Hey,
too.
Joe.
Hey, Joe, how's it go?
Oh,
I know
Joe
my,
Photo Leo.
I know my older iPad mini, which was, they called it the 4. It was the, the latest version of it during the 4
Mhm.
series. And I have the 5 series. They're both identical, except the 5 has just more memory. And I did an update on one of them, and the 4 won't even go to the new update. Because they've rolled the OS for that and locked it down. But the
Hmm.
5 is fast.
yeah, I did the update earlier for Kelsey's phone. Jesus.
To
took
what,
like-
16?
Yeah, it took probably at
Oh,
least
there-
20-25 minutes. My
Well, there
Samsung,
well, if you're going to 16, yeah, you're updating a whole entire operating system, not
Yeah.
just an update.
Yeah, refreshing it almost.
I'm not going to update mine to the 16 until they get the bugs worked out.
Mm.
it's actually 16.6.
Is it?
Yeah. It's
Well,
16.6.
maybe
is
I'm
the
thinking of the
version.
wrong, I'm
That's
thinking of
what
the
I'm
wrong
on.
one.
Well,
Let me look.
they go by 0.1 on each update, so
Yeah.
Mm.
you might be 16.5.
I'm on 16.6.
That's the latest one.
Let's
Careful,
see.
careful, Steve. That bitch will update in the middle of the night when you don't realize it.
No, I'm already on 16. I'm on 16.6 already.
Okay,
I've
that
been on,
should be
I've been on that for a while.
that should be the latest one then.
Yeah.
I think it is, yeah.
I was thinking the new one that they're talking about coming out with.
17 is coming out,
Yeah.
I think in October.
And
So I
that's
think
what,
the iPhone 15 comes out then. Hello, Lance. I think the iPhone 15 with the USB-C comes out then. It'd be great to have a USB-C.
Mhm.
I heard some big tech
cable.
reviewers talking on YouTube. They were talking about there was rumors going around that Apple was going to get rid of the charge port altogether and just go to wireless. I don't know if they were actually going to do that though.
Fuck.
It depends if Samsung does it.
Well, I got a stand for mine on my nightstand. So I put it on there because it's my alarm clock. And then my
Yeah.
watch sits on top of it over here.
Yeah.
So it recharges the watch and that. And if I had earbuds, it would charge the
Yeah,
earbuds
You can
on
put
it
them
too.
on there as well.
It's a
Yeah, I've
slick
seen
little
those where you've got
holder.
all the different ones. Yeah.
But see, the problem actually it's Apple that Samsung has copied. Like when Apple got rid of the headphone jack,
The other way
Samsung did it.
around.
That
And
was a
then when
bitch.
when iPhone got rid of the charging cable or the charging brick that came with the phone, so did
Yeah.
Apple or so did Samsung.
yeah.
And their whole stupid argument behind it was eco-friendly. We're trying to, well,
Yeah,
you're still selling
gotta
me the
be
fucking cord.
eco-friendly.
Yeah, here you send me the
Yeah.
cord, but then I have to pay, what is it, $29 for a 20-watt charging brick?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I spent the same amount of money and bought the 30-watt.
Well, it was just a money grab, right? Because now they could sell
Yeah.
you the charger brick instead of giving it to you.
I don't know if you can see this brand or
Get-
not.
Get another 30-40 bucks out of you.
There we go. Anger.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
100-watt charging brick. It was
Anchor.
$36.97.
Anchor makes some good stuff.
Yeah. Ron
100
Brown.
watts not enough.
I-
They need to make more.
Well, they make bigger ones, but this one was only 36 bucks because he's using it, the new Air 3 doesn't come with a brick. So the 100-watt unit here, he bought that for 36 bucks and it charges the batteries up lickety split.
Yeah.
Well, that's because the
No,
DJI
iPhone
charger
15
is 100
will
watts.
have USB-C in it.
It's USB-C.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because of the whole EU crap.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
why
welcome
everybody
it.
just doesn't standardize on USB-C.
Yeah, everybody has USB-C and then we can just charge to our heart's content.
Because it's like,
USB-C at both ends.
it's like DJI, you've got them and they're only going to go progressive and it's going to charge the highest charge battery first, and work its way through. I've gone through and bought aftermarket ones that I've found and done some research on for all. And the time it takes to charge one battery, I can have all four
Yeah,
of my
If it's parallel,
Air 2 batteries charged and the remote in the same time.
yeah, parallel charging.
Yeah.
You know what I found funny was when they were talking about they were gonna start making Apple over in the EU being able to sideload apps and shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I was
That'd
like,
be
that's gonna
great.
start punching holes in Apple's little brick wall in it. Cause every
We could
nerd out there is
sideload
gonna,
everything, be laughing.
and if they only did that for the EU, every nerd around the world would get their hands on an EU
Yeah.
Okay.
regional locked phone for that area just so they could look into it, try to see
Yeah.
what they can find.
Needed to go get my device that I normally connect, which is my triple tick. Because
Yes.
it's logged in with the account and all that kind of crap. It wanted to,
Mm.
they had, because they had bound another controller to the drone's complaining, hey, that this controller is not bound to the drone kind of thing.
Mm.
Not to the account, just, they use the
the
ID
drone.
between the devices to each other.
Yeah. We were talking about that I
So-
think yesterday, talking about, they don't know why you can't have like on your intelligent goggles or your
And
remote.
multiple
Why
profiles.
you just can't have multiple,
Drone.
Yeah, I
Profile.
don't get it. I don't get it either.
You need profiles, just like the Fly app has, where you can
Right,
pick what drone
exactly,
you're flying.
Justin.
Well, just like the RC Pro has. Let's see here. Camera display.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. If you go to the Fly app, it
Mhm.
literally gives you pick which drone you're flying. Like it gives you the whole list of drones.
Mhm.
Should be the same exact way in those goggles.
And what's going to happen now is the Fly app is going to get so loaded with so many drones being on there. We're going to be going through another whole application coming out, just like they did with the Go Fly app.
The Go app, yep.
There we go. Had to remember where the hell the IMU calibration thing was. Okay.
Yeah, because I
gotta
still
lay
use
it-
the Go app for my original Mavic Pro and my Phantom 4 V2. John, the one for the Air 2S. I've got one for Air 2S. I've got one for my Ital Light. And
No, he wants that 100-watt charger you were
The
talking
100,
about.
the one that's.
oh, the 100
$30.
watt charger. Okay, hold on a second. Hopefully it's still on sale.
Oh, you're completely wrong, then you.
Get the
100%.
multi-chart, get the 100-watt multi-charger from Amazon.
Yeah.
I like the
More
YX.
power.
The YX chargers.
That's
Okay.
more power.
That's what I have.
That's
as
Lance.
Anchor.
I
There we go.
I got a 25-watt
There
Anchor
comes Lance.
don't know
USB-C
why.
plug in my phone.
This is the second time I've had to do the IMU on the goggles. I don't know how it's getting messed up.
Welcome to my world there, Rod.
And if you do buy it, John, make sure you click the coupon link because you get a 30% coupon.
Yes.
It's 37. Excuse me. It's $37.99.
If that coupon's available and
No, it is.
Canada.
It still is. It came up.
yeah, but you gotta remember he's in Canada. You seen what happened on Family Guy when the big chicken promised a coupon and it was
Yeah,
bad.
exactly. And we're away.
There you go,
That's a-
John. That's a US link.
That's
It's
how-
$37.99, and then there's if you check
Yeah.
the box, you get a 30% off. It says coupon, apply 30% coupon shop item.
I'll tell you what though, the one country's Amazon that totally blew me away is Australia. You guys don't have any choices compared to
Yeah,
what we
no.
have.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
how many, I don't know how many times I've looked up specific items for Matt or Tim. And we have just pages on pages of that item. I go to the Australia
Yeah.
site and they'll have like one or two and that's it.
And we get nothing.
What they
Yeah,
keep
you-
in the warehouse.
We're isolated. But we're
Yeah.
getting a big Amazon distribution center just around the corner from me. So
Oh, cool.
Nice USB-C.
Yeah.
Does it come with the high speed cord too?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, nice. It's not a bad deal for $30.
30,
Because,
36 or 37
'Cause a
99.
good cable alone would run you 15,
Yeah.
$20.
I
Yeah,
got the white one, Steve. Yeah, I
Well,
really
you can
like
get
it.
you can get white or black, either one. I went with the black so that I don't get dirt all
Dirty.
over the white one. Yeah, see, includes CBC included.
yeah, C2C. And that's the good thing with the MacBooks now, that they have the USB-C. So that's handy as well.
Yeah,
The Air still has the old plug.
Yeah,
Can't
I know.
believe it.
I'd love to upgrade.
the one thing I did buy from them also, in fact, it's charging right now, is this. It's a 24,000 milliamp, 140 watt
24,000
output
mAh.
power bank.
3.
Donald said Australia's on another planet.
Yeah, it is. That's
Well,
believe me, that's how I feel.
This is what's stupid, right? Is if
So
Amazon
I'm in a
has,
different universe.
I wish that they would just do one website for all the countries that, and if the item's not available to be shipped to your country because of certain laws, they just don't allow it to be shipped
what's
there.
that cost, Steve?
You
It
know,
was $109. It's on sale right now. It's 27% off. Was 150.
140 watt.
What's it do, Steve?
It's a power bank.
That's a power bank. You put it in your pocket.
So you can charge, anything. You can charge your drone batteries out from it. You
Your
can
phone.
charge your drone, anything, your cameras.
Drone,
It-
iPad.
It's meant for just like Dominic's talking about. It's mainly meant for iPad and what do you call it? MacBooks. It's got
Hmm.
2 USB-Cs that are bi-directional and plus a USB-A.
So it's a better version of these things,
Yeah,
right?
it's the upgraded version.
Yeah, these
got more-
don't
it's got
last
more
as long.
power.
so-
Yeah,
Can I-
exactly.
can I run my
Lance.
AC off of that after a hurricane?
Yeah,
Yeah,
why not?
charge,
Well, the
charge
other
your
thing-
laptop.
But the
The other
trouble is,
thing, Steve, what
does
I
it have
like about it is
USB-C?
it's got a meter on the end of it that tells you in digital how much charge is still left in the unit.
Yeah.
And not only that, it tells you how fast it's recharging, because I plugged it into that 100 watt charger,
Yeah,
and that's what I used to charge it up with. And it got up to 98 watts it was charging at.
yes.
that's pretty for $109. That's a pretty good
How
deal.
long did it take to fully charge it?
Wow, not even an hour. I mean, it was
Hmm.
Yeah, I
really
wouldn't think
fast.
so.
Because I walked away,
Some
so
things some of those things it takes ages to recharge. But if
Mhm.
you're going 100 watts, hey,
Shit,
Yeah.
my phone will charge in an hour.
Hey,
Just on
Rod, you forgot to
25
take your
watts.
goggles off.
after the
I was
coupon,
gonna start the motors up,
28.99.
but while it was sitting here, it said processor was overheated.
oh no.
Yeah, Captain Joe, but I don't know where you, in Canada, it may be more expensive for John.
Now, my only question is, Rod, do those have a tendency of overheating if you're not flying them though?
Wow, $49 Canadian.
I
That's
know,
not bad.
I know one thing that everybody says is when you're doing firmware updates, make sure you're doing them inside and make sure you're doing it in a cool area.
I used to put the minis in front of a fan because they didn't have the built-in fan. Like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
and stuff.
this doesn't have a built-in fan either, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised that I had it turned on. It was sitting here not moving,
Yeah.
and
That's what
now
I'm
it
wondering if
says
it was.
it's hot,
No air circulating.
no air circulating.
Well,
so
anybody else that has a Nevada that's in the chat, maybe have you had? Is that normal?
you don't do these updates very often, so.
Well, some of my drones, I've got a big desk fan over here, and if it's sitting for a while, it's running, I'll turn the fan on, blow air on it.
The
Yeah,
problem-
and that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I pulled the battery and put it in front of the
Well, this
fan.
is a problem with all these processors coming out too, and these little smaller drones without no cooling or anything.
And this was another thing that because I picked one up to get for my wife, and these come as a 2-pack. This is a heck of a deal. We were talking about the price for that. Look at that. It's a 20 watt dual port. Oh, let me get back to it. Sorry.
Hey, Steve,
It's a 2-pack and it comes with the cords for $18.
Wow. And the cords, how long are the cords?
I don't know. I haven't opened up the box yet.
there you go.
5 foot. It
Can
Oh
you
says-
yeah,
hear it?
two 5-packs. Yeah,
5 foot. Huh?
Can
but
you hear it?
they're dual.
Be about 150 centimeters.
Yeah, but
30
for
minutes, it gets up to 55%. Is that what it's saying?
30
Yeah.
minutes.
Well, it's like I
Did you
said,
guys
I
hear
can,
that?
no, it's the noise cancellation.
Holy
But
crap, the noise
for-
cancellation is really fucking good, because I had it about 1 inch from the mic.
Yes.
for
Dude,
for,
good work.
for $18, that's a heck of a deal for 2 of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
But like I said too,
I see.
Steve, my.
Okay,
my-
you can see the you can see the props, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's do it this way.
Yeah, but my S22 only takes an hour to charge up doing 25 watts. So that's pretty good on the 100 watt.
It keeps turning itself off.
Overheated?
I
No.
like.
No.
Oh,
It
it's
thinks
because
the
you got it
drone's
tilted probably.
Tilted. Yeah, tilted. Yeah, tilted
Oh,
to
no,
turn itself
John.
off.
Yeah.
Normally you have to turn it like
Rookie
90
mistake.
degrees to get it to do it. Hmm.
I'm
I
I'm
don't know,
happy it
here.
worked out for you, John.
So
That's
Steve,
great.
they think in the S24, they're gonna do
Oh, you want
75
that link too?
Can you
JDS
hear
wants
that?
link too, yep.
Gee, I
So-
should get myself what do you call it?
it making any noise
an
now?
affiliate link.
Affiliate link. Yeah.
No, there's no sound.
Yeah, it's a
God damn.
2-pack, John.
The
Hold on.
Blue Yeti is really freaking good, man.
Mm.
Well, it's Zoom too. Zoom has a really high noise cancellation system built into it.
No, so is the Blue Yeti. So, well, you're probably right. Probably between both of
That's what
them.
I'm saying,
Anyways,
because JD's got
I'm
a
back and
whole,
working.
JD's got a whole different mic set up, and he was beating on drums one day, and we couldn't even hear him. He literally had the drum set right next to his microphone,
Yeah.
and he was blowing a whistle on the mic.
Jody.
You can set
Okay.
the levels on your noise
Anyways.
cancellation.
Yeah.
I'm glad
I've
you're
said it
happy
to
now.
everybody.
I'm back and working.
So I can.
So, Steve, the S24, I heard may have 75 or 100 watt charging on it now
Yeah,
instead of
that's-
45.
On the what version?
The S24.
No, it's going to go to 65. It's going to go to
Okay.
65 watt.
Yeah,
No,
there
I
was,
want 100. I'm greedy.
what's that phone brand? It's not iPhone or Samsung. It's Najir. Shit, what the hell is the name of it? I can't think of it, but they're already doing 100 watt phones.
I wouldn't be
phone charger
surprised if Oppo
takes-
did it.
It takes 17 minutes to go from 1% up to 100.
Yeah.
Well, you know, with the Smart IQ, but on this charger, this 100-watt charger, I'm gonna tonight. I'm gonna plug this in my iPhone in it tonight. I'm not gonna put it
Yeah.
on the regular charger. In fact, I unplugged it because I want to see how fast it charges off that 100-watt charger on the Smart
Yeah.
IQ.
Well, I have a feeling that your phone's going to limit it.
Yeah,
It
limited to
will, but
probably
it's
30
designed.
watts.
It's designed for it, and they specifically say it's designed for MacBooks, iPads,
Right.
and anything using USB-C.
Because like my S22 will do 25 watt charging, but
Mhm.
it won't like even if I plug it into a 40 watt, it won't allow it to go past that.
Yeah,
Like
can
it
only get
will
30.
only limit it to 25.
You're gonna
Yeah.
get 30 on mine.
And then the S22 Ultras and the 23 Ultras, they're doing 45 watt.
I think
But like-
65.
Like I said, my phone will
similar.
charge all the way up from like, say, 10% up to 80%, probably in about 35, 40 minutes.
Hmm.
And then once it hits 80%, then it goes to a trickle charge
Yeah.
the rest of the way.
Right.
Right.
down.
It's just to get you up, up to going into speed as quickly as possible.
Oh, dude, I love it. I'll be like on 6% and I'll throw my phone on the charger and walk away for like 10 minutes and come back and it'll be up to like 30 something percent.
Mm,
Well, that's cool.
It's nice when you have to, if you're going somewhere, you can
Mhm.
plug it in and charge it up pretty damn quick.
yeah.
'Cause
And,
that's what
and go ahead.
I was gonna say, I have an Anchor charger, but it's a little Anchor brick and it's rated for 25 watts.
Mhm.
And that thing alone was $20 just for
Well,
that.
yeah, well,
that brick.
these are 20, these are 2 for 20 watts for $18
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
and the cords. Thanks to
Yeah.
Ron Brown. He's the one that was the one for that, the 100-watt, brick. And then I went across and I was looking at some other stuff over there.
I like getting those big 10-foot braided cables, man. Those things give you plenty of length.
That's what I got there. You buy them in the 6-packs and the 3-packs.
Well, the last two I bought were off Amazon. It was a double pack.
Excuse
And
me.
there were two 10-foot braided cables and they're heavy duty. And I think I paid maybe $15 for 2 of them,
Uh-huh.
something like that,
Yeah.
which isn't a bad price.
No, it isn't.
And their data transfer too. I plug them into my computer.
Yeah, the last ones I bought, it comes with 2 10s, 2 3s, and 2 6s. It was a 6-pack for the iPhones.
What's up, Jody? I didn't say hi to you.
So anyways, 13 days from the day I shipped it out.
That's a good turnaround. From the day you sent it
Not
till
bad.
it was back to you.
Tomorrow would have been 2 weeks.
Mhm.
You know, Drone
So-
Nerds does it, and if you go through Drone Nerds, you can pay. I think it's like a 1-week turnaround, but you can pay for express turnaround, and they get it back to you in like 4 to 5 days.
I could probably drive to them. They're in Jacksonville.
Yeah, they're really fast. And they have really good reviews too. I personally have never heard anybody say anything bad about them. And if you go on their website, I mean, they got a really high rating.
The other one I gotta get going. Now that I got all the parts here for it all to get it going, because I got the batteries and battery charger, is my little Gep RC Cine 20.
Mhm.
The little baby one. A little bigger than a baby hawk. But it's FPV, but it's only like 150 grams. So don't gotta worry about remote ID with that sucker. Of course, as light as it is, you just gotta worry about the wind. But I'll be honest, I got it to fly around the house. Especially like when hurricane season, when a storm's outside or something. Great, I'll pull this thing out and fly around the house.
Why not? Yeah.
I'm waiting for Labor Day. I've thought about getting that brace. Start RC's got a red version of that.
Later, Joe.
There's one that sort of has, it's a thing on the top. It's a bar on the top above the camera. I kind of like that one because I've flown through a few too many palm fronds, so having a thing up on the top would
Oh, yeah, I saw that, who was that? Aldrin, I think, talked about that.
Gotta love palm fronds.
when you fly through things like that with that bar sort of being on the top, you're more likely for the drone to push it out of the way and keep it out of the props. So, and it protects the camera. I gotta see whether I had put the UV filter on and lost it. Cause I noticed when I was packing it up, I was like, hey, where the hell's my filter? Cause normally I have the UV filter on. I don't know whether I forgot to put the UV filter on or in one of my crashes, I lost it somewhere. It's fine. I have an Indy 4 that I bought that I can stick on it. Something really light.
How you been, Jody?
Take care, Joe.
There, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Enjoy
Enjoy.
dinner.
Anyways, I'm back in business.
Jody said there's a whole print on Thingiverse.
Oh, crap. I know what I gotta do.
Thingiverse is, I like Thingiverse, but the problem is their search engine. If you're not 100% precise in the search, it will come up that it can't.
Gotta
find
put that
anything.
back in.
Yeah, that'll help.
SD cards.
Yeah, I might fly with the standard props for a little bit. Just because I
Compare
don't
'em.
want to screw with, just because I don't want to screw
Ew.
with it at the moment. It's just that I won't go flying over any water with these props. I don't want to be like air photography and have the prop break and whee into the water it goes.
Why are they having problems with the props on the original
Fuck yes.
manufacturer props?
Yep. Well, let's just say quite a few people have had them break.
I would think, Rod, with that outline of the prop covers or bumpers, why you couldn't take and put some like floaties on there so that it would float if it ever went in the water.
You're talking about the, what were you talking about was breaking?
The props.
The OEM ones?
Yeah, the OEM props.
Yeah. They each actually,
Several people have had them break. I think even Dobo had them break.
actually, what was it?
Yeah, I'll be back.
Master Earth Screws actually had a bad batch of them too.
Hmm.
Cause Bill Ronayne actually got a letter from them.
Yeah.
Stating that he may have gotten a bad batch of them and they sent him out a free set as a replacement.
Well, that's pretty good customer service for them to go reach out and contact the customer.
Well, I think all the crap
That's what
that they
customer
got,
service would be.
well, you remember when they caught a bunch of crap about the Air 2 ones?
Right, I remember. That's the one I was trying to remember. I couldn't remember which one it was.
Yeah, but
But
it was,
because I've got the Air 2, I've got the Air 2s, but I bought them after they were having the problems.
yeah,
Mm.
because the Air 2 ones, what the problem they had was, people were getting them and they didn't have like finished edges. The edges were all rough.
You can tell on the stock props if you like drop them on a surface, they're ting 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 ting. They're not very flexible.
Well, you don't want
Do
them
you have
flexible when you
Insta
got them
360?
in a shroud like that.
You want a little flex to them.
Well, I'm sure there's a little flex to it.
Not enough. So
Yeah,
when I exploded it on mine, most people are having a problem. It's in sports mode where the thing
And
is
it seems
cranked
to be
up, or
flipping from
in
normal to sports.
or
when you
in
flip-
manual mode. Getting into it, the prop will probably just explode. For me, I got lucky when it happened to me. I used to see how I'm holding it on the top like this. That's how I used to land when I used to just grab it and flip it to
Mhm.
turn it off, and I flipped it and the prop exploded.
Anybody wants Dobo's bumpers, there you go.
Yeah.
I got a black set and an orange set of his bumpers.
Hey, you can get
And
them
you
off
know what?
Thingiverse for free.
I've never put them on. I've never actually flown with them. I have them. I just don't fly with them.
That's a problem with getting into the 3D printing business, is you can't really sit there and try to patent every single print you come up with because it's just too damn expensive. And all these Chinese manufacturers and different people out there will copy your print in no time.
Oh, no shit. And
Doesn't matter if
what are
it's
you gonna
patented
do?
or
What are you
not.
gonna do against what are you gonna do against one of those countries or one of those vendors in China? Nothing. You're an American. You're gonna go sue a Chinese company in China? Good luck.
Well, even guys in the US though, they'll take your thing and they'll go on a CAD system and copy it
Yeah.
without no, and it'll take them maybe a day or two to figure out your design and then they'll put the file out on Thingiverse for free. And as long as you have a 3D printer, you're good to go.
Mm.
There you
What I
go.
really want is the LED. I
And
want
here
the
we
LED.
go.
Oh my gosh.
There you go, Paul. That's tonight.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be nasty here tonight for sure.
Just comes out of nowhere.
Paul's right about here, right?
Yep, exactly.
Not far from each
South
other.
of London, yep.
Man, speaking of weather, I need to go look at National Hurricane Center. See if they get the 5 o'clock updating.
And it
Mm.
expands over top of you, Paul.
Yep.
Yeah.
2 o'clock.
Oh, look at that baby.
Yipper.
Hello, boys.
Loud and
It's on.
probably be loud tonight. That's what, 11:30, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, between 11 and 12, it's the worst, but it starts hitting you at about 10 o'clock-ish.
Yep, I'll be back from coffee by then. What time is it? 6:24. Yeah, I guess it's time for me to get going. I gotta going up for coffee tonight, so.
Anyways, Justin, we may get one in the golf. We may get one in the golf heading north this time.
Yeah, I saw the news thing from, was it Dennis Phillips?
Oh yeah, the guy
yeah.
from Tampa.
Yeah, he
Who's-
posted a video today
Okay,
about talking
Paul.
about it.
Yeah,
What
I
is,
think-
Alright,
where'd
Paul.
he think it was? Where'd he think it was
I'm probably
going?
about
Northern
morning.
golf.
as well.
yeah, we'll see you guys. Have a good one.
Take
Bye.
care, Paul.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care, Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
He actually said it was too early to speculate. He
To-
didn't want to.
Yeah,
He didn't want to speculate on it because he said it was
It-
way too early.
and it may not form at all because of El Nino and wind shear. The wind shear, the wind for sure. It'll probably only be a tropical storm, just like almost everything this year has been a tropical storm because of the wind shear.
Mm.
Even as hot as the fucking water is, it can't get spun up when the wind ain't right. And
Yep.
El Nino in the Pacific seems to be winning the battle at the moment.
I have a feeling El
Yep.
Nino's weakening because there hasn't been nothing out here lately. for
No,
like
no,
the
no, it's
past-
getting stronger.
look.
El Nino is going to get stronger.
It doesn't come in, Justin, until it doesn't really start building until around November.
Winter. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But-
It's
but
only
they're-
going to get
It
stronger.
starts
from here.
building in November, and then when the heaviest parts are going to be in December, January, and February.
Well, the only reason I'm saying that, and I could be completely wrong, is that out here there was all kinds of hurricane activity last week. Now there's nothing, but now we're getting shit over on our side. Plus there's a tropical storm heading over this way. Like I think it's either down here or up here. It's heading over.
Pull the map up a little bit, and then go left. Yeah, yes. Now see the band down there below. Look down below, going across almost South America wise. Yeah.
Like right here.
No, well, yeah, but up a little bit.
Like
That
right here?
band, yeah, that, and go
Yeah.
across to the left. See, go to left. See all the yellow and everything going across.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're in Australia now.
yeah. That's
Ooh, I
pushing
don't
it
like-
up, and then below South America, where you're looking down, where you had it down there, that's where it's going to build from there going up.
Oh, look at that circulation.
So the big key for us right now, Justin, let me pull up here. Let me pull up my radar.
Lance
Is-
said if
is
anybody
it-
wants to join the Facebook group of Vada Aerials.
Hmm.
Thanks.
Oh
Lance.
yeah, I mean,
Check it out.
I got into that one. Okay, here, let me share. Where's the share button? Share screen. Click the right button. Share my radar. Ah. There you go.
Mm.
You should see some wind currents. See the wind stream
Hold
stuff.
on, Zoom's still pixelated. Give it a second.
Yeah, I had problem with Zoom earlier.
Down here is
Uh,
Franklin. Down here is Franklin, which is the one that's, well, it's still a tropical storm. It's not even a hurricane.
Yeah,
it's
that's the
going,
one that's curving up towards the east.
it's going
kinda-
north. It's going north. It's going to
Yeah.
go north and northeast. Can you see the wind current stream lines kind of
Yeah.
stuff here? This is a low pressure. This is a low pressure. There is no fucking high pressure. It's usually called the Bermuda high that sits right over Bermuda that drives the winds into Florida. You'll notice that those other storms that are out there are also heading north
Yeah,
because there is no fucking high. In fact, where the hell is the high pressure? I don't even know where the high pressure is. So literally right now, here's the
You
high
can-
pressure.
hey,
All the way up
Rod,
here
you can
by
sure
all the
see
way
the-
all the way up here by Greenland.
Right, you can sure see the Canadian fires on that map.
Yeah, I was hoping that that one that came in on the west coast would go up there and put some of that out.
Look at there.
Yeah. So my point being is that big high pressure that normally sits here over Bermuda where it says Hamilton isn't there. So anything that comes off now and forms anything at all is just going to turn north. Because the way the way these things work is they form at the equator, and when they get spinning, they go to their pole. They're essentially, from an environmental perspective, they're kind of big heat engines that take the heat and push it to the pole to cool it back off. So because there's no blocking high pressure right now anywhere out there, anything that forms, just like this one, is going northeast already, right? It's just going to go north. So any of these out here, in fact, let's look. Well, we may get one with this and we may get one with this at about 7 days in between each of those.
Hey, Lance, is that your channel, Avada Aerials?
It is, yes.
Okay.
So the next two, which is 2 weeks, 3 weeks out, by the time you get to this one that's in Niger, are going nowhere but north. So yeah. And the one that they think is going to form is right here over in Nicaragua right now. It's actually on the Pacific side. This is what they say is going to move. It's in here somewhere that they think is going to move north and up into the Gulf. But with the wind shear from El Nino, it's just been ripping them apart. Earlier this year, the ones they formed and then died like a day later from wind
Yeah,
shear.
we don't need another natural disaster right now with the shit going on in Hawaii.
So they may have, we may end up, they could be right. We could have 13 named storms plus, but I don't know that any of them are going to end up being until maybe late in the year, which is bad for Florida because Florida usually gets hit in October. That anything late in the year might be when the strong ones are, but I think the odds of that go down every day because El Nino is only getting stronger. And the stronger El Nino gets, the more the wind shear. Because what happens is, if you can see my mouse, El Nino and the heat engine's out here, and it causes wind shear to come across to this side. So the storms are literally sort of flying right into a big fan. That fan is El Nino. And so
yeah,
they
but
can't.
but the most of the El Nino is going to be on the
What's that?
Pacific side, is what they're.
Oh, no,
predicting.
it is. It's only on the El Nino, La Nina is purely
Yeah.
Pacific in nature. What they couldn't figure out this year is that the fucking Atlantic is super hot too.
Yeah,
So they were like, okay, it's super hot, so it should form lots of storms. But what they didn't know was they've never had a super hot Atlantic with the super hot Pacific with El Nino.
No, you just got a lot of
the wind
sharks.
shear. Yeah. So far, Steve, it appears that the wind shear is winning the war.
Mhm.
We've had some storms, but none of them been strong, and none of them seem to last very long.
Yeah.
They're just getting shredded.
Well, even the
for
one that you
most
had
part.
this earlier this week that came across, that was supposed to head up towards Houston and everything and going across over into Mexico, it just like dissipated into nothing.
And
Yeah, it
hasn't
did. And that's what I mean. It's literally running in. It's like the storm's flying straight into a fan.
Yeah.
As soon as it gets to the fan, it's just poof, gone.
I've noticed this year it doesn't seem like we've had nearly as much rain in Florida as we normally do.
What I
No,
can't
we
believe
haven't.
what I can't believe is what Paul was saying when you first brought that up. All the fires across the whole entire Canada
Yep.
and the Northwest. I didn't
the
even realize there
Northwest,
was that
yeah.
many fires up there.
Well, they're not fighting them either. They're just letting them burn out. They're
Look
just
at
letting
There
the
you go.
fires
There you go.
Well, you know what? Canada, I think, has put on a new presence, just kind of like Maui, that the water is sacred. You can't use water to put out fires.
Could just because JDS.
Winter
lives
is
up there.
coming. The snow will put them out.
I blame it on JDS.
JDS is the fault. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he-
you know,
he's-
it was ironic as the path of our storm, Hillary, was supposed to go straight up California, but then she moved over east and it went straight up Nevada. Now, I don't know if the fires that you see going across into
Yeah, I was wondering.
Eastern Oregon or something, they must, I'm sure that had to help them because they got rain going through there because it like went
But
up
look,
and
there's
then it made
almost
a
no rain.
U-turn
There's
over
almost no rain
Montana
out
and
there now.
Wyoming.
So is this Hillary up here?
No, it's gone. It went east,
Down
down lower. It went across and into Minnesota.
Okay, so this is
It's gone.
yeah. It got blown up. Blown apart.
Well, you can almost
effectively.
see a path that goes up and then hooks over, and there's no fires there.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it went up. Went up.
Yeah, it
across
was supposed to go
Montana.
all the way up into Canada and then across.
Yeah. And then it started heading east.
Well, apparently it got so weak that the low pressures that flow across just picked it up and shoved it.
Yeah.
Anyways, there you go. So again, no big high pressure out here off the East Coast, in particular, anywhere near Bermuda.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see a high pressure on here.
No.
It's like it's all low pressure. There's no high pressures. Actually, the high pressure's right here. So there's one way the hell up here
In the middle of the Atlantic.
in the middle of the Atlantic.
That's dead center too, just about.
Yeah. Yeah. So anything that comes off is got it naturally wants to go north, and there ain't a damn thing there to stop them. Which is why when you look at the Hurricane Center's forecast, it's got everything going north. There's literally nothing there to stop them,
No.
which is good for us right now. That means
Mhm.
anything that forms in the Atlantic is gonna, well,
Yeah, I've
one,
been
it's
watching.
probably not gonna be strong because of El Nino and wind shear ripping them apart.
Yeah,
What
I've
was
been
that,
watching
Justin?
I've been watching some of those videos about Hawaii and how they're
The
trying to-
devastation?
they're really trying to get the land now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I told you the governor signed an order 2 days ago that it took away all historical jurisdiction off the Hawaiian Islands.
Huh.
So that means they could come in to rebuild, and Lahaina, which is the oldest, port in the islands, and the historical classification they have, they don't have to do it for the rebuilding in an
So they would
emergency.
have, what did they do? Dissolve the historical commissions in those areas?
It's gone. In other words, in an emergency situation, the governor can say, boop, it's no longer a historical area.
Wow.
He just
So
pissed
it's
off.
gonna be very cookie cutter now. It's gonna be, everything's level, everything looks the same, the shops. I mean, it's really gonna turn Lahaina ugly. I mean,
They're gonna-
Lahaina was so quaint, it was so
It's
cool.
beautiful.
You know,
It had its
uneven
own
floors
persona,
as you
didn't
walk
it?
into the shops. The
Lance, it
stairs
had its
walking
own
in.
persona, didn't it?
It did. It really did. It was.
They
you know,
want to make it
very-
into the 15-minute cities is what they want to do.
So here's where Lahana is. My buddy lives down here in Waiakea.
Mhm.
So he turned out to be safe. They had some here in the middle. They had some here in the middle of the island.
Well, what
too.
they're saying too is that I was watching one news thing and they were talking about how a lot of these people, their insurance is just not going to give them enough to rebuild. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
there-
that's probably true with inflation.
And there's
Yeah.
investors
Yeah.
already in there already coming in to buy the property up.
I mean,
So-
Because
I
they
just
know,
don't see.
they know that these people can't afford to, hang on and wait.
I just
and
don't
wait
see
it
how
out.
they're going to fight it. I mean,
So
Because-
Maui is a really interesting place. You can see, in fact, you could see it literally right here. See the green on the right and the brown on the left, right? On this side, the freaking volcanoes right here. On this side, the Hana side, one of the wettest places on the planet.
And actually, Kauai up north is the
Kauai
wettest.
is the
place.
wettest.
Kauai is the island directly north.
the Nepali coast.
Keep going north.
Yeah, I know. I've been out there.
what's up, Ron?
What's happening,
Out by
guys?
Poi Poo.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
all of the eastern parts of all the islands are the wettest parts. The western parts are the drier parts of the.
Are you
Yeah, see here. Turn it. Oh yeah, here's the canyon.
from Hawaii, Lance, or do you just
I lived
visit
there when I
a
was a
lot?
kid, but I
Okay.
go there.
A lot of visiting there?
Yeah, we go very often.
Okay. That's Alaska and Hawaii are the only two states I haven't been to.
Trying to remember, that canyon's bigger than Grand Canyon. Deeper, I think.
On
Kauai.
Kauai, no, it's not.
Well, that's the
Uh,
problem, Mark.
I forget.
is
It's something. It's
Oh, it's
something more than.
Yeah.
and that's the problem,
Yeah.
Mark, is the insurance isn't gonna give these people enough money to rebuild. So how the hell are they gonna fight all these developers if they can't even afford to rebuild their own homes?
Mhm.
I mean, they don't have the money or the resources to.
Well, also the one, hello, Ron, first.
Hey, Steve.
The of the three major landowners in Maui, the one which owns 65,000 acres, I think. It's either 35 or 65,000 acres of the
Jesus,
property
that's
that
a
they
lot.
own over there is owned by Vanguard, BlackRock, and one of the other
All
three
the hedge
major
funds,
developers.
all the international monetary funds and hedge funds.
Okay, so let's
Yep.
do something fun, Steve. Holy crap! They actually do have it. Ugh. There is the Hana Road.
Yeah,
I've driven it.
Mhm.
There's a reason the insurance companies don't want you driving it. Notice how wide this thing is. It's
gotta s-
not.
you gotta stop. You just gotta stop and back up and let another car till you can find a spot.
Yeah,
to
there's
turn
sort
up.
of pullouts here and there everywhere.
Not all
and-
of that. I actually did the motorcycle trip on there, but there are parts that are like that though.
Wasn't,
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not all like this, but there are.
Look at the speed limit is only 20.
The
Yeah.
speed limit's more like 10 or 5. There are
It
parts
takes
that
you-
it's just
it
like
takes
there
you
are
a
parts
whole-
that it's just gravel.
You better anticipate a whole day to get out to the end, and you're there for a little bit and come back.
I used to do the
Oh.
big circle.
And if you're gonna go to the
That section's got
seven
guardrail.
So
sacred,
Ron, you did that on a motorcycle. That had to have been easier, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
and
I
if you
did
go to
that.
the seven sacred pools, you'll be gone the whole entire day. You'll be coming back at night.
Oh yeah, full day trip, no doubt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you
Dom-
can stop for places like this for the.
You're coming up
Rivers.
to some traffic there on the left.
Dominic, didn't Roland say that his country just borrowed a bunch of money from, was it BlackRock or whatever it was?
Oh,
I need
it wouldn't surprise me.
I think they borrowed $1 billion or something for something.
Let's see here. Where the hell's
There's a
Hana?
lot of it
Hana's
going
up
on
there.
down
I'm
here.
trying to remember where the worst part of this road was.
Somebody on my live stream said that their country, I swore it was Roland.
Yeah, it
A
does
couple
sound
weeks ago.
right.
Yeah, it was like a week or two ago when Roland was on there.
Yeah, here you go. No guardrails, just a few bricks
Mm-hmm.
and rocks so it's rocks or go over the edge. It's pretty much what it is in some places.
Or get out and push the rocks out of the way so you can get by.
It's beautiful, but man, there are parts of that road that are just like scary.
Yep.
Scary.
Oh yeah, that island's not gonna be the same for at least another 5
Decade.
years.
A
at least.
decade.
Decade, 10 or 15 years probably,
Yeah.
because they got to import everything, the wood, everything else. And
You know, my buddy who lives out there in Maui, he's like, if Lowe's doesn't have it in stock and you have to order and they have to order it, he says it's going to take you 6 months. It took him like 6 months to get paint. He needed a pool paint to paint this concrete fish thing that he had. It literally took him 6 months to get the paint.
Yeah, that's why it's so expensive. Same with Alaska. You know, everything's got to be flown into a lot of towns in Alaska.
Oh, it's all brought in by freighter.
Right, and that
But
shit-
I mean, look at this. You got nowhere to go but down the hill.
Yeah,
There was-
no, I know.
I
I drove just the beginning part of it. We didn't do the whole thing because
I did the
circled-
whole thing.
we
I
s-
drove over to Hana and all the way around.
We circled the whole entire island though.
Oh, I
Um,
didn't go the whole island. I started, well, where was it? Oh, I know. I was up here by the airport.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
where
I
my
was-
girlfriend lives up there, my old girlfriend.
So I was up here by the airport and I
Mhm.
literally drove all the way down.
See, Steve had to correct himself. My old
It
girlfriend.
got,
Yeah.
it got,
Don't get his
well,
ass in trouble.
the scary parts are down here on the south side.
Well, as you were coming down on the south side over there, when I was there with my ex-wife, we went there for our honeymoon, and the island, the big island, had the volcano going, but the eruption that hit on Maui, this is 1980, around 80 or 81, I forget, but the road was blocked completely because the lava flow had gone all the way over and you couldn't get around. You had to turn around and go back around and take a detour.
Yeah, oh, where the hell did I just drop that thing?
So is Mark correct about that road?
What about it?
His comment he said the road that goes around the outside edge, the main island, doesn't meet at the end, so you have to turn around and come all the way back.
Yeah.
Is that true or?
Well, I don't know which area he's
Needs to
talking
be
about when I
fact-checked.
was, I'm talking decades ago I was there.
Now there was an old joke, and I don't know if it's true but how they said there's actually an interstate in Hawaii.
Mhm.
That there's a what?
Is there an interstate highway in Hawaii, even though
don't-
there's not?
I've never seen one.
Okay, because there was a.
Called
I've-
Hawaiian Airlines.
I've heard that
To
over the
get you
years.
from island to island. This section over here on the east side is pretty damn beautiful.
Well, the
Like when I-
island's beautiful all over.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is.
there's not a bad spot anywhere.
Oh, by the way, they also get snow.
Are any
Yeah.
of the islands actually connected by a bridge or no?
No,
No,
No.
too far apart. When I was on the big, this is, probably about 8 years ago, we're up went all the way up to the volcanoes. to go up to the Keck observatories up there. And we're up there and there was snow on the side of the buildings over there. We started having snowball fights, and this was in May. 2 days later, we're in Oahu. My wife's hollering at me. I'm in the bathroom in the shower. She goes, quick, come here. And I look out, they got 6 inches of snow so far overnight up there. And it was still snowing.
Top of the mountain and on Maui, you go up to what is that Mount?
Haleakala.
Haleakala. Yeah.
Yep.
Go up there to watch the sunrise.
I did. I was fortunate enough. We took a helicopter tour to where you fly in and then you wait for the sun to rise. So you're seeing the sun come into the bowl, and then you come up over the rim, and then you come in and hover.
Yeah,
And then-
here's the
and then from there-
observatory.
And then from there,
I've seen a couple of videos on that.
the Keck. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
You want to talk about massive scopes.
yeah, from Haleakala.
There, there's the summit. Up there.
How far are those islands apart? Like, what's the shortest one? Like 20, 30 miles or something?
Oh, no. Hundreds.
You know, that's a good question. Maui to Lanai and Maui.
Those are the
don't know.
closest one, and Molokai. Those are the closest.
Well, how far is the distance between
I
them?
don't
Because on the
know.
map, it doesn't look
Measure
that big. But
distance. Measure distance to here. Distance to here. 5 miles.
that's not too bad.
There, most of them are 100 miles
Yeah.
plus.
From Maui to the Big Island.
Is 100 miles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't think they were that far apart.
Well, that's why they have the airlines.
Crazy.
Hawaiian Air.
You used to, back in the,
I don't know. Let's see
and
here.
even in the 90s.
Measure distance to here. 30 miles. It's not 100 miles. It's 30 miles.
50
Depends on where you're at.
kilometers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sort of edge to edge.
Well, I'm talking about flying from the airport down to the volcano. Which is at the
Kauai's
southern end.
Kauai's out here. Kauai's out here, Weeds. And then you got the private island.
Now, are all these islands
Which island
habited?
is it? Hey, which island, Rod? Is it private island?
This guy,
He's pointing at it over here.
Nihu.
What do
It's
you mean
west
that's
of it's west of Kauai.
What do you mean that's a private island? Somebody owns it?
No, there's nobody.
You
else.
have to be an invited guest to get to that
Yep.
island.
Well, who is there? People live on it
It's
or
a
what?
native tribe owned kind of. It's like a
Native
reservation.
Indians.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a reservation.
Yeah, but
Hawaiian.
it's not a reservation, but it's private. It's private. Trust. You can get there, but it's private.
You very if to get invited there, you either got to be important or very rich.
Yes. Or both.
Yep.
Interesting. And all the islands are habited, I'm assuming, right? Inhabited.
Mostly.
Okay. Yeah, I've never been out to Hawaii, so I don't really know a lot about it.
Somewhere about right there. It may still be up there. There's a water heater about 200 feet up on the side of the cliff.
Oh, water heater.
Yep. From a hurricane that blew through there.
Just-
I forget when that was. In the late 90s.
What? It wasn't put there on purpose. Mother Nature put it.
Yeah, Mother Nature put it there. Yeah.
What's up, Ron?
Say share that video I just sent you.
All
It's-
right.
That was my last trip, 2.5 years ago, over to Maui.
Is it, God, it's that long already?
Yeah.
All right, let me-
And then I was there 4 years ago also for my partner Jackie's wedding.
Yeah.
Christmas over there.
Yeah, my buddy who lives out there, he's like, yeah, the wife and I took vacation out here every year, so we
what
decided
up
instead of
to,
vacation, we just moved.
There's no audio. Oh, there it is.
So many days is yet to come.
All the
That was-
islands are great.
Oh, I'm trying to remember the name of that shore. It was some of the biggest waves in all the islands.
Oh,
Nor-
on the
North
north
Shore.
shore of Kauai.
No, it's on
Okay.
Maui.
No,
Is it on
Maui,
Maui?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look
This is
at that
on
view.
Maui.
North Shore of Maui.
I can tell you in December, the north shore of Kauai.
So I went and did
Fucking
that whale watching.
huge wave.
Uh,
To ocean's gentle hand.
with the Pacific Whale Foundation.
Yeah.
Awesome shots.
Getting out alive. Getting out alive.
That was during the migration down there.
Find that open door.
Did
But it
you,
has me up on Mount Holyoke.
Ron, did you swim with the whales?
We actually we swam here at Molokini Crater. There were whales in there.
The darkness of the light.
Oh, you went swimming in Molokini Cove?
Yeah, then I went scuba diving.
Yeah, that is the scariest thing I've ever done. When you're sitting there going across and you're going out, and then it just drops.
Yep.
It's like backpedal.
There's a swim buddy.
There I was on the Harley on the road to Hana.
Or did you rent that bike?
Yeah. It's only like $200 for the day. It wasn't bad. This is all the Hana here.
When you find that open door.
Yeah, that's the other reason to take the Hana Road. There's a lot of waterfalls. People drive by.
There's a million of them.
Nice wave shot.
Tender hearts will always fight. The darkness of
That was at sunrise.
the darkness
You're actually up above the clouds.
Makes you wonder, why the hell did Dustin Dunhill leave?
It gets old after a while, maybe.
I think he got a job opportunity. That's why he moved.
Oh yeah, there was my Mrs. Claus. I told her, I said, "You're the prettiest little Mrs. Claus I've ever seen. Would you like to be on YouTube?"
Oh, so she wasn't your Mrs. Claus.
No. No, I
Oh,
met her
He
on the beach.
picked up on her.
oh, he was hustling. Ah.
Okay, guys.
My best.
Sort of like
guys.
that night he was sitting in the hot
Hey,
care,
tub.
Dominic,
Dominic.
you have a good
Bye-bye.
one.
Yeah,
see you
no
later.
Hey,
worries.
Dom, hey, I'm
Yeah.
gonna roll too, fellas. We'll chat with you
Okay,
later.
Lance,
See you,
take
Lance.
care.
Yes, take care. Good to see you.
Yeah, nice.
Well,
seeing
the
you.
good news is my goggle battery is full now. I'm surprised it ran down. I've let it go a week and never had it needed to charge it up. Now my motion controller is charged.
No, Ron, before you came on, I was talking about how the governor had signed a declaration removing all historical jurisdictions in case of an emergency. So now with the emergency order because of the fire in Lahaina, they can remove all historical jurisdictions out of there and build whatever they want to build.
Wow. Ask her. So, yeah, I have to go. I got to call Jackie and see what's going on. She lives down. She's not too far from the airport in Maui.
That's where my old girlfriend is. That's where she lives.
That side of Maui was great. It was fun.
Got it right that time, Steve.
Yep, I know. Well, the two of my wife, Linda, and her did meet because when we were over there, she flew over with her husband. They were going on that tour because we were over in Hana. So they had a drop off going to Hana. So she flew over there and then we went diving over in Captain Cook Cove over there off from Kona
You let
on the
your
big
wife go.
island of Hawaii.
You left your wife?
meet your old girlfriend.
Yeah.
You're a brave man.
Actually, my old girlfriend was very, very nice about it. She bought her a little gift and everything because she knew she was going to be,
Little menage a
especially
trois.
especially the other couple we were there with. The four of us were together for a long, long time.
Oh, foursome, nice.
Foursome.
Oh my.
I need to go to bed early.
Yeah, they're trying to capitalize on the tourism, I think.
Oh, that's what it is. And like it is they want to put the 15-minute cities in there, build it all stacked high rise, and
Don't make
even,
sense. That's where they make their money.
Yeah.
Tourism. Why would they want to capitalize on that?
Well,
Yeah.
one could only hope that they do like Hollywood construction and put in some of the old storefronts into the black buildings. So it looks like what it used to
You
look.
mean like, make it look like? Yeah, I doubt they're gonna do that though.
restore as historical order, to rebuild what make it look like what it was before the fire.
Because you could still do cement block buildings, but just the front of it has to be.
Yeah.
I saw a couple on YouTube who was actually driving away from the fire, and they got to a point where they got to the edge of the ocean and they had to get out of their car and walk into the water.
Yeah.
To get away from it.
There is probably another reason for them to want to build block hurricanes.
Mhm.
That area would have been devastated had a hurricane gone through there with the way those houses were built. So
Well, they built way before any.
yeah, exactly.
They were generational houses, is what they were saying.
Well,
They don't get that. They generally don't get those kinds of hurricanes in Hawaii.
Steve, did you tell us how many bodies were washed up on the shore?
Oh, the over the island of Lanai, one of the council members or wherever over there was supposedly 146 bodies that washed ashore on the island of Lanai.
Really? From
Yeah.
the fire
Yeah.
in Maui?
The people, they figure from the
From Maui.
fire had gone into the water and got washed away.
Now, does
Nope.
each island have kind of like some of the big cities do? Like, does each island have like an alderman? That's like under the governor, they're like
Yeah,
over that island.
yeah.
Like a state.
Yeah.
Well, like some of the big cities, they'll have their mayor, but
You
then
have a
the
mayor
city,
and a council.
and then you'll have like aldermans that are in
Mhm.
charge of different parts of the city
Yeah.
Yeah.
that are under the mayor. Okay.
Yeah, councilman. He got up there and just started telling all these statistics that they had, because a couple of guys that I follow over there that are one's in real estate and another one, he's just an activist. And he is just totally against what's going on by this mayor over there. And these two reporters got up in the mayor's face, and the cops had to finally intervene and said, back away. He says, no, I'm not backing away. The mayor needs to answer these questions. How many children are still missing? And they won't answer the question.
Oh, you like that, huh? Well done.
You can't tell me that people haven't reported, I've got a brother or a sister or a husband or a wife missing, or a child. You can't tell me that stuff has not been reported in.
Yeah, like the numbers of missing people. Yeah.
And-
Right.
And
They're
you want to go, and now we'll go with the tinfoil hat story. The chief of police was the senior investigator in Las Vegas for the mass shooting at the MGM. He asked 5 months ago for an increase. Not only did they give him the increase they wanted, they gave him an additional increase and increased his salary by 29% after only being on the job 5 months.
Wow.
I don't think they'll ever figure out that damn shooting. That
Well,
dude,
that's why I said that if you look at I'll have to dig out the video.
Was
The
that the
guy's
one
doing,
guy
the
from
guys,
Man-
what's that?
the one that got shot all that people at the concert from Mandalay Bay?
Yeah, that was the same police head of the captain that was the head investigator. He's now the chief of police over in Maui.
yeah, they never came up with a reason why he did that, because they couldn't get any like his family, nobody understood why the hell he did it. And to this day, they can't figure out what his motive was, because the dude was actually worth, I think, a couple $1 million. He wasn't in debt. He was doing really good. He was retired, was a VIP at a lot of the casinos
Mhm.
because he spent a lot of money, and his family said he never showed any
Well,
kind of,
did he kill most of
weirdness
the
or
people
anything.
with a sniper rifle from a balcony or something?
it was an AR-15, wasn't it?
Multiple.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
shooting. He was just shooting down in the crowd from the window. Pretty much all he was doing. Then he barricaded himself in the room.
Mhm.
But like I said, to this day, they can't figure out a motive because nobody in his family gave any inclination of why he would have done it. He
No.
wasn't poor. He wasn't suffering from any known medical issues. They don't know why the hell he did it.
You would think,
All-
you would think in this day and age, with
And he didn't.
everything that we have for chemicals, that they would have been able to identify him. He was barricaded in there. They could have flooded it with something that would knock them out right now.
Anyways,
And then you could bring him back to
Yeah,
and
we'll see you later.
find out
Take
what
care,
he
Ron.
had to say.
I need to go. I need to go fly now. To
Okay, Ron, have a
Alrighty,
good one.
take care. Yeah,
Yeah.
the other thing is on the island of Maui, there's a guy that's on a flight. And he's on a Southwest flight because you can see the color of the winglets off looking out the wing. And you've been to Lahaina, Ron, so
Yeah.
you know what it looks like. Where the banyan tree and all that at, it's a road like an oval road that goes around. On the flight coming in, the fire is only around the oval.
On the
There's no
outside.
there's no fire inland or in the middle when that jet was flying over coming in at nighttime.
Wow.
So one of the things
Arson?
I'm thinking is, well, it's through the power, because the power poles run around that whole entire loop. If there was a massive surge of electricity that went onto that system.
Well, and then they were.
Aren't they investigating that, the utilities?
Well, there was videos of the poles knocked over, and they were swinging into a bunch of bushes and grass and
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah.
But it's hard to say too, because some of the videos that people were throwing in these conspiracy theories, how the fire started, it turned out these were videos from another country from 3 years ago.
Mhm.
And that always happens, right? People will pull videos from previous disasters or whatever, and they'll
Yeah.
label it because they're just trying to get clicks on YouTube or
Sure.
whatever platform they're posting it to. And then people start believing it. Oh my God, that's how it started, right? It was a big fireworks explosion, even though that
Yeah.
fireworks explosion happened in Beirut 2 years ago or wherever,
Yeah. No, this was it. And you see the people that had video, car cameras on, the people have it to where the police stopped them and turned them around and sent them back into Lahaina. They wouldn't let them out. And these people are finally going up. And I know this one guy, him and his, they're in the real estate business. Him and his partner started up a website and started a 501c3 with like a GoFundMe. And I don't know how many hundreds of thousands that they raised, but what they're doing to prove they're doing it, they're going to the people that they're finding and they're like giving them $1,000 cash, and they're filming it saying, we want to prove that we are giving these people the money cash, and here's the email address to contact them to prove that we gave it to them. So this is 100% legit, but they're getting the money directly to the people in Maui. But it was sick. Is the one guy had a Tesla bank, solar panels and Tesla banks. It's a portable unit that Musk has used along, and Starlink, and he was going with the Tesla bank to take it up to this husband and wife, and the wife has dementia and they're in their 70s. They wouldn't let him take it up there to him. They stopped them from taking this up there to him.
It's fucked up.
And that's what's happening on a lot of provisioning too. It's all, unless it comes from FEMA, and FEMA's staying at the 3 largest, highest price hotels in Maui. Anywhere from $1,000 to $1,400 a night.
Woo!
And there's 700 of them there. And they're complaining they're running out of money. We'll go to the Best Western.
Yeah. Or the Motel 8 or the 6.
Yeah.
The lead line.
I don't know, Joe. Joe said, so Trump just landed in Atlanta. Fox said he's surrendering to authorities, and he's asking if he is going to call their bluff. I don't know. I think Steve was just saying that, right? Some guy just said that.
That was something that Dan Bongino, who used to be a Secret Service agent, he's a conservative podcast a person out there. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not, but he used to work for the Secret Service, and part of the Secret Service articles are, yeah, Jody, pitch a tent is exactly right. And they're 45 minutes away instead of what they could have been 20 minutes away at the Best Westerns and some of these other lower cost, motels. But if he was to call the bluff of the DA in Atlanta, don't post a bond, what are you going to do? Throw me in jail? Well, guess what? Secret Service then comes in and takes over that jail and the whole area around where he was, and they take priority over any other law enforcement agency around.
And then what are they gonna do with everybody in that jail, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because then it becomes a security risk.
That would be a great thing. I say call his bluff. I thought Dan's suggestion was a great thing. He said, call their bluff. Do the same thing that they're doing to you. Do it to them.
What I think I think if he does end up getting some reason he wasn't gonna get bond or whatever, I don't think they would keep him in a jail. I think they would put him on house arrest. It'd be too much of a issue. There's just no way in hell he could go to an actual jail.
Yeah, they couldn't control it.
Well, from what I remember hearing, they said that even if they told him he was under arrest and he had to go to jail, that technically the Secret Service wouldn't even let him go to the jail. They would just say, no, he's not going there, and they would take over and
because
kind of put him in
they're
their own
authorized
facility type thing.
to protect him unless he's physically indicted, unless he's physically found guilty.
But he's not guilty. This is just the indictment charges to start the process. So you're not guilty. He's innocent until you have a jury of your peers. And that's the whole thing. What peers are there in Atlanta? Every one of them is going to be over there, and that thing is so lopsided. It's the same thing with what's his name, Jack, the other attorney for the documents in Mar-a-Lago. They're doing the federal indictment of that. The judge over there shut him down because he was using a grand jury in DC with part of it, and the judge shut it down, said no, it's out of its jurisdiction. You're not going to use that anymore, and slapped him in the face and knocked him down.
My thing is though, is how could you really get a true fair trial when everybody in the country knows who you are?
Yeah.
And no matter how much you tell somebody, a human being, no matter what side they lean on, no matter how much you tell them they have to be biased, they're not going to be naturally.
It's corrupt.
In the back of their mind, they're not going to be biased. They're going to be totally on one side of that argument from the beginning.
Yeah.
A red state or a blue state.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter which
The
side.
corruption in Georgia. If that's the case, why isn't Stacey Abrams being indicted on the exact same charges he is? Because she still says at this date that she's the governor.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody has some kind of political side. And
It's political corruption, the same way the Senate was
how
over there.
You don't know which way those jurors lean. And as much as, like I said, as much as you tell them to be biased, that's not human nature. I don't care how much you try to say there.
No,
That
there's
is.
going to be bias in there.
Yeah, they're going to have bias in their head that you can't see. And they may have already made up their mind before that trial's even begun.
Well,
They're just like, I hate Trump or I love Trump. You know, it
well,
could
one
be
of the
either
things
side.
I'm not an attorney, but one of the things I would have done, they released the indictment papers on the clerk's website in the morning before judge had even signed the documents. In the evening, they were already on the website, and then they pulled them down. If I was an attorney saying that is swaying the jury pool and everything else, you released those documents before it was ever even an order by a judge. You pre-release this stuff
I'm
and
saying
kick it out just on that alone.
What I'm saying is it could go either way too. You're going to have people in the back of their head that are either I love Trump or I hate Trump right at the beginning of the trial. They're not going to give two shits what information you put out there.
Mhm.
They're going to already have their mind made up because everybody in the
Predetermined.
country knows him and they're either on one side or the other, and there's a few people that are kind of in between. But you know what I'm saying? They're gonna have some kind of bias regardless.
Well, you heard Wills wants to move the court date now up to October for his trial there in Georgia.
Hmm.
And you're going to try 20 people at the same time in one courtroom? I want to see that cluster. That I know what I know has never been done in history.
But yeah, I just don't see how you can get a fair jury, even if you're just a famous serial killer. How are you going to get a fair jury when everybody in the country's heard about your case? They know who you are, and most likely 9 out of 10 of them already, or 9 out of 12 of them are already going to have in the back of their head, "Fuck this dude, we're putting him away," without
that's
even, you know what I'm saying, without even
Well, what
starting
they're
the
trying to
trial.
do though, Justin, is with the RICO charges, you don't have to prove all the charges. All you have to do is get 2 of them.
That's conspiracy, yeah.
And then that's where it can lock it in, more than one.
No.
It's all they're trying to do is so he doesn't run. That is what this is. It's election interference, and every one of the DAs, the attorneys, should be brought up on election interference charges and charge every single one of them and lock them up.
Well, it's and that's the thing is like say this went right into the presidential election and say Biden won again, I guarantee all that would fade away.
Yeah.
It'd get to the point where they, oh, we're going to drop the charges. I don't care anymore because Biden's got another 4 years. You'd see all that's fade away.
It's a shame. It really is. And to me, the weaponization of this Department of Justice is unconstitutional. And the one that should be impeached is Merrick. And along with the whole Department of Homeland Security, those 2 people should have their ass out the door and call it as an act of treason. And guess what? You can still hang a person for treason. You put them up and put gallows out over there up in front of the Capitol building and do a public hanging. And you want to watch the cleanup of this government overnight. It'll be all these people will be Hail Mary on praise. I am not like I used to be.
Yeah, I don't. As much as that's still possible, I don't ever see that happening.
No, I know.
It'd be kind of cool to watch though.
Yeah.
Call me a sick fuck, but yeah,
Put me on. I'll pay for a VIP front row, $10,000 seat.
All right, W is trying to incite a riot in the chat.
No, not riot.
No, he said, let's riot.
I know. It's not a riot. It's peacefully protesting.
It's a peaceful hanging.
No, if they are charged, if they were charged with treason, hanging is still the only. That's the only sentence that can a hanging can be associated with.
Hey, Paul Murray, how's Miss Lenny doing?
So.
I haven't talked to her in about a week, maybe.
Oh, wow, Joe.
Maybe less than a week.
It's been a while. She asks about you all the time.
Yeah, she was in there. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Ron.
I was just gonna say tonight. I'm gonna go in. Dear God, the only thing I don't like about this new job is that they keep. I don't like the threats of if you don't do this, you don't do that, you could face termination. They have, and I understand it's this OSHA stuff, and every place you go to, Sanford's the same way. The place I just came from, you had to complete all this hospital, safety, fire bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But I just got another email today from the director of HR and to all new employees, if you don't finish this new hire orientation online education by September 14th. There'll be disciplinary, procedures and possible termination. I'm like, fuck. So tonight I'm just gonna go in and blow it all out. If I gotta sit here till midnight, I just want to get it done, get it out of the way. It's not due till September 14th, but I want to get it out of the way. Over there, it's, because when you start not thinking about it, it gets out of sight, out of mind. But I just don't like that. That's one thing I don't like about this place. Everything else, 95% everything else is good. That's the one thing I don't like.
It's called HR.
Yeah. You're a pain, Jimmy, Yeah, the HR director, she's I don't know. I met her. She's different.
Mhm.
I think there's a certain mentality, personality, and a look for an HR director.
Yes, you got it. I wasn't going to go there, but you did, you nailed it.
There was a place up in about 20-25 minutes from here, Sundance, Wyoming. I applied to there back in February when all that things was happening with my other job, and I was worried about, what was going to happen and everything. That lady she was worse than this lady here. She was 3 times as bad. An absolute bitch. And she didn't know how to communicate. She communicated by text. God forbid if you'd be a little professional and pick up a phone. She texted me one day and she said, I sent the application and she goes, "Hi, Ron, would you be interested in coming in for an interview?" In a nice way, I wrote, "Who the fuck is this?"
Mhm.
It put out several applications, It's like, really? You're a director of HR for your entire hospital. You think you would have the professionalism to send an email or a phone call? A text message? Really? Come on. It's not like,
that might be the new norm nowadays.
yeah,
To be
but
honest with you.
you're somewhat right, Justin, but on the same, that is the new norm for the younger generation. This lady was in her 40s, pushing 50.
Two in the polls, 55%.
What are you calling yourself old, Ron?
Yes. Yeah, I'm getting there. I might as well admit it.
It's all about the issues, and it was.
Oh, he's on the way there, huh?
Yep.
There it is.
It was the most issue-oriented election probably of our lifetime. It was about the issues, and that's what is so terrifying to these people, and why they're persecuting Donald Trump like this. Because when you make elections about issues, reasonable, America first, populist candidates rise to the top. And you're exactly right. You've got they have completely taken over the Republican Party. These people have been knocked out of power, and they're coming for the Democrat Party. There is nothing they won't do to stop that.
Anyone who has the views that he has on putting China back on its heels, we're talking trillions of dollars is on the line. That's a lot of money. And you don't think China's happy tonight to see this? They're very happy. The happiest China would be is if Joe Biden was reelected.
Look at all the motorcycles out in advance. Holy crap.
Fucking Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Frick.
It's true that the enemies of America look at this and they see it for sort of the laughing stock that it is. They see how the country that used to pride itself.
Well, it's definitely taking the lesser of two evils for sure, W. I'd rather have him than fucking Biden in office.
What's the
It's not Biden in office. That's the whole thing.
what's the Secret Service
It is actually America.
protection after you're president? Is it for life?
Yeah, it's for life.
You guys are criticizing us. First of all, you call yourself.
And you actually still have access to the daily presidential briefing every day too. You can still request that every day if you want to get the same briefing that the current president's getting, the sitting president.
You think they're giving it to Trump?
Oh no, I'm just saying, just in general. An ex-president like Bush could, if he wanted to, he has access to get the daily briefing
Yeah.
as the same sitting president, because they'll use them in continuity of government if it absolutely came down to it because of their experience.
World's policemen who are selling out all of our credibility in order for to have a political win here.
And Molly, you sense in some of the comments on the other networks that they're really building this. It's a security risk.
Well, like I said, I would love it if he did what Bongino said to do. No, I'm not posting bail, and call their bluff.
Nancy Pelosi created that app.
Oh, they got a live feed.
Woo!
You had to have the
Well, I'm surprised.
Well, this is the reporters that are following.
Which maybe that'll affect how people vote. Maybe it'll be used in other ways to kind of clamp down on speech. But you get that sense that the security threat is used as part of their choreography here.
Absolutely. And you look at what, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, the right to petition your government for a redress of grievances. All of these things are things that the left does not want us to have. And it's terrifying to actually live through. It's very tyrannical, authoritarian, but it's all related.
It's misinformation, but disinformation. They're the same thing they threw out during COVID. They're going to throw it again. Panel's going to stay with me. I want to bring in 2024 Republican presidential candidate.
COVID and that bullshit.
There's the guy that impressed me right there.
Yeah.
As you see the scene right
Have you seen Tucker's interviews with him?
Yeah.
And also the one, if you haven't, is to see the one with Colonel McGregor that was out a couple days ago. Watch that interview with him, with Tucker with him. He lays everything out about all the BS that's going on in Ukraine and Russia.
That we have gotten to a place.
And the other thing is that it's not being reported either is, we know that China is building that base over there on in Cuba.
To stop their lead political
but
rival.
Nicaragua, Russia's got a base going in there.
Went really well in many national
Hey,
polls.
Steve?
I'm now
Yeah.
in second.
You know who
It
I
would be
know?
Easier for me.
You and
If
I
my
know who
competitor
I
in
want
this
to
primary,
run.
Donald Trump, were eliminated from competition.
Well, you know what?
That is not how I want to win.
If Trump gets in, that's going to be the VP.
I bet you it will.
That is I've been saying that for a long time.
Oh,
In the wrong
Christy
direction.
Nome.
We have to stand on the side of
Governor of
principle,
South
not
Dakota.
politics. That goes for everybody in this GOP primary, and I've been vocal for a reason.
Vivek, you said you're one of the candidates who
See her in the White House in her jeans and cowboy boots.
If he wins the nomination,
And a hat.
he's convicted.
Oh yeah.
And a trap gun dropped over her hand. She's heading out to go hunting.
Uh-huh.
him and DeSantis both said they would pardon Trump if they got elected.
Well, if you watched the whole thing last night, they asked if, because every one of those people that were on the debate had signed a disclosure to the GOP that you will support, and that's why Trump didn't go. You will support the candidate that they pick. And they even said if he even gets arrested or convicted, will you support Trump if he was elected as the candidate?
I think the reality is
Vivek immediately had his hand up in the air. Then Haley and I forget who else the other two people were.
DeSantis had his too.
DeSantis took forever to raise his hand. He stalled, and so did
I have a simple view. The person who leads this country
Chris
next
Christie.
should be the person.
well, Chris Christie raised his hand because he said no, he wouldn't. After
Well,
he
yeah,
did.
he was going like
you
this
know-
with his hand.
Yeah, but what the old Trump's vice president
Pence. He didn't
Pence.
raise his hand.
Pence just barely raised his hand. DeSantis and them, they were looking over at everybody else before they raised their hand.
That's why, Laura, I
Well,
think
Pence
dividing this
to me
country
is a little
even
snake.
deeper than
Yeah.
just traditional Republicans.
Well, you
Christie
know, the
did.
whole thing is then they violated the written order.
Believe in the founding
The ones that said no, they won't.
of the American Revolution.
They should be kicked off the stage for all future
govern.
debates.
We actually
Yeah.
believe that the people can't be trusted, and it has to be a small group of
Because they've undermined Trump from getting in as the GOP candidate.
sort of state as it goes today. I stand on the side of the American.
That's what
Revolution.
all that stuff was going on over here with some people I've talked to, and
Moment for incremental
I can't really say what I do know,
the ideals
but
of 1776
the
itself.
voting that went on there
But that
was
has
so
to
they
be
can do
divided.
everything they can not to have Trump on the ticket.
We need a a spiritual revival. in our country
Actually,
as well.
I could see
Who
this
would
guy
be
as the
elected to
vice
do that?
president.
All right. A lot of your political
Well,
opponents
him or Christy Noem.
place with Vivek.
This guy, did you watch the debate last night?
Yeah.
This guy was right on spot.
He was the winner, without a doubt, of the debate. He challenged them and didn't take no BS, especially against Haley.
Back in 2018, you were
Yep.
you were CEO. You
The
gave
two of them really got into it.
biotech conference in China. I know you've
Yeah,
done
Pence
business
is a
in
weasel
China
too, Joe. I agree with you on that.
various
Yeah.
companies that have ties to China. Do you have
That's correct.
is there a transcript?
He's part of the
that
deep
those
state,
remarks
just
that
like the
you gave
rest
at
of the
that biotech
swamp
conference?
rats
Did you
were.
release the video,
Well, did you watch, and if you didn't, which went on at the exact same time this was on
Far from it.
uh,
I write about
last
that
night for the
in
debate,
my
was the
first
interview
book.
on
And the fact is, I probably
Tucker with Trump.
modern China.
In the 2 hours that it was on,
Everybody else on that
74 million people had viewed the interview in the 2 hour period. And they were saying that Fox pulled in somewhere around 8 million
does not allow you to do business in China unless
for the
you're
debate.
their
And by the time I went to bed early because I had to get up early today at 5, but it was 102
And so the
views.
reason
And I know this morning they're talking over 200 million views.
independence from China, Laura, is based on my own views.
Must
as
be
somebody
getting
who
close
actually has
now.
Not been in state government for my whole life.
Well, hey guys, I'm gonna go grab some dinner and then I gotta get
How the game is played.
some studying.
Sorry to disrupt it by showing this. If you guys want me to stop, I'll stop.
No, this is cool.
For example, to
But
Yeah.
have American user data. as a
I better get
condition
cracked down.
That is not capital.
Okay,
You don't want-
buddy.
You don't want Miss HR on your butt.
The most aggressive
No.
industries based on my
HR
personal understanding
bitch
of it,
ass
that we
idea.
have to
Nastiness.
Yeah,
So,
Vivek,
yeah.
I mean,
Alrighty, guys.
See you later.
Take care. Have a
Okay,
good day tomorrow.
okay, Ron, have a good one.
Did not make a lot of money
All
in
right,
China.
maybe we'll see you guys in the morning.
Actually not. So for better or worse, the reality is the way I made money was 5 FDA-approved drugs here in the United States. The climate over the last decade actually
but are they
changed
made in China?
So
Are any of
my-
those drugs? Are any of those
No,
drugs
they're
made
not.
in China?
They're not made in China.
Oh,
actually.
thank God,
They're
because
not,
everything else
actually.
is.
And
Yeah.
in fact, in my late days as CEO, I began to pull out from China. And so Roivant, that
Just remember, India's the new China now.
I know today I'm not part of the company anymore. It doesn't have operations in China. But also, when I founded Strive, the competitor to BlackRock that I founded, I made a day one commitment based on my own knowledge.
Oh, I remember that. You
Strive
came on the
would never
podcast.
do business in China.
Yeah, you
And
came on
Strive
my
would never do
podcast
business
and
in China,
described that.
unlike BlackRock. Exactly. Exactly.
And,
And I think it's so
and
important that we see
Claire-
the Chinese threat.
Clear up the Soros scholarship you
You know,
got.
this will be,
way back in 2011, but you did get some scholarship that was sponsored.
Look
by
at all the police
Soros
cars.
Foundation,
Yeah.
and because you needed the
I'm
money,
happy to
or
address
what
this.
was that
It's
all
come up
about?
a million times. Yeah, so when I was
Well, I would
24,
imagine
I applied
DC
for a
police
generic scholarship
are so
for
used
hundreds of
to
people
having high-level
24
people.
years old to go to law
Yeah,
school.
but this is Georgia.
Generic scholarship
Oh, yeah, that's right.
from
This
not
is
George
Georgia.
Soros, and this is the common. It is a
There you go.
family member of George Soros who is long dead at the age of 24.
What's
to go to
that?
law school. I'll tell
You'll
you this,
see on the screen.
Anybody who would have turned that scholarship
Biden
down
sucks.
should get nowhere near the White House doing trade deals on behalf of this country. And so the reality is they probably aren't very happy with what I say today, but no tie to George Soros other than condemning him. And let's just be really honest. I mean,
Yeah, Mark, Puerto Rico is, but actually Nicaragua is now with the base that they put in there with ballistic missiles, which can go with their short-range missiles can hit New York.
I don't think that's disqualifying either. But I do think it's good people are asking questions. That's
Yeah,
what a primary
look, no one
process is
knows-
all about,
look,
and I embrace it.
Look,
I shouldn't say
Vivek,
short-range
yeah,
missiles.
nobody knows who you are.
They're missiles, but the short-range can hit Florida,
We've done
but
some interviews over the years, so I've
hitting
known
New
some
York
people
from
are still getting to know you.
Nicaragua.
You know, number
Yeah,
two
they
and
can
number
fuck
three,
around and find out in Florida.
Washington Post put you at finishing second behind DeSantis last night, but you and DeSantis combined are 55%. All 6 of the other candidates on stage together combined didn't beat you and DeSantis. That's pretty stunning.
Well, I think the debate.
Yeah, I
that
don't
was-
want to lose. Honestly, W, I don't want to lose DeSantis as governor because
No.
he's kicked ass in Florida.
No, he's a wonderful governor. If he gets a little bit more time on his belt and then move up the ranks, that would be good.
We had some what we'll call
Or if he was to come in as vice president, to where he can get to know DC. So if you run for president, if Trump was to win and come in underneath his ticket or one of the other Republican tickets, you come in so that you can run, like for Trump, he would just be there for 4 years. And then it would give him 4 years to figure out who you can trust and who you can't trust and figure out the swamp. And so when you have a chance to run for election and then become president, then you got some knowledge behind you.
Conservatives need to now level up.
Well, because that's what I was telling people, you know, during all this rioting and COVID shit. Dude, in Florida, it felt like business as usual the whole time all that was going on. We didn't experience all that crap that unfortunately you guys and other people did around the country. It never felt like we were going through any of that down here.
No, you only shut down for a couple of weeks and that was it.
Yeah. We didn't have issues with rioting down here or nothing. Like, because our law enforcement don't play down here and they had the support of the state, you know? Plus, your average citizens down here are big police supporters. So,
tell us about Steven Sada, who will be with him tonight as he gets processed?
No, his parents actually, Mark, are from Vidic. Was parents are Indian.
Criminal defense attorney.
He's born here. He's a U.S. citizen, which you have to be in order to be president.
Right, exactly.
Current lead counsel down there is also an outstanding attorney. So I don't know what the issue was, but he really.
And if you are a U.S. citizen, you have to be living in the country, I think, for
Mike, the
concurrent like 15 years or something before you run.
Right.
There's like a, you can't like be a
time statute. Yeah.
Right. You have to be in the country for so long.
Go through the magnetometer. I guess he will with the Secret Service. The whole thing is just ridiculous. Mike, your reaction to these pictures?
And you have to be, I think, 36,
this has never happened in the history
35,
of the United States.
35, yeah.
A presidential motorcade.
Which to me is still, that's a little young, but
former president.
I mean, let's just, to me though, Steve, if somebody was able to get that high in office and that much respect to make it that far at that age, hey, they might not be an idiot.
You notice, not to break you guys up, but notice when the cars go in there, they go around that grate there because they're afraid there would be a bomb in there.
Yep.
Watch them. They swerve out to the left and then back to the right.
Crime of objecting to a presidential election, which is allowed by the Electoral Count Act of 1887. Twisting political arms is allowed by the First Amendment. To charge racketeering here is laughable, and I hope President Trump's legal team immediately files
county jail in Atlanta.
Presidential immunity.
Yeah,
why aren't they going to the courthouse?
Yeah, prisoners are pissed right now. They're bringing steak and everything in for them to eat.
No, they'll be bringing in McDonald's, double Big Macs.
Actually,
a white glove service in there.
There you go.
Like Fulton County, Georgia, for his actions as president.
Big Mac, white glove service.
And some other things post presidency, but that in and of itself seems to have been.
Well, I hope you guys don't mind this, but I find this interesting.
No,
I don't.
I was, in fact, I had turned it on my other monitor.
This is history.
I don't mind watching this.
It took me a little while to get Fox News on my computer.
But if
yeah, I'd ask you what television system you're on.
Yeah, what system? You have to have all the codes and me and passwords and codes and all.
Well, it just asked me which one to pick because obviously it's storing it in my cookies, and then I just put for Cox Communication, and then it goes boom, it switched over right real quick.
Prosecutors from around the country.
Yeah, I've got Xfinity.
Yeah, you got to put in your email address and password and all that.
Email address and your password, and then it sent me a code on my phone. I had to put that in.
All across the country and blue states and blue counties, and I mean we can just disrupt any president, I guess, going forward. I want to quickly
Mark, at least one of them. That was probably the press.
Where Trump is inside right now.
Well, look at they put in buses to block it off.
Yeah, so it's protective wall.
Well, and that's just the intake building. I guarantee there ain't a single person in that building that does not need to be there.
According to the Fulton County
There's no random prisoners walking around in there. There's nobody.
The
Yep.
roads that are blocked here on
They're just
Jefferson
going in there to fingerprint him and
right in
shit.
front of the entrance where we just
Fingerprint and mugshot him.
coming
Yeah,
in.
that's
Now,
it.
this area has been
I'll
locked
tell you
down
what, those
for the
mug
last
shots are gonna be
hours
going
on the
up. I'm more of a campaign ad for him and promotion than.
Trump supporters and protesters that have been out here.
That guy looks serious, doesn't he?
all day.
Yeah, he does.
Turning the camera, you can see they even have
I wouldn't want to piss him off.
blocking
I'm just
the way.
saying, if any of those police were smart, they definitely wouldn't be supporting Biden's side.
As a former
Because they all
president,
hate the fucking
now
police.
currently being booked inside of that jail. You can
But
also
yet they
see
want the police to do all their bidding for them.
Well, the other interesting thing, like you said, Steve, is the girl, what's her name from Georgia, still claims that she had the election was stolen from her.
Yeah, Stacey Abrams.
Yeah.
says that they're going to go through normal.
Nobody said anything about that.
Why isn't she being arrested in there at the same time?
The Secret Service, but normal protocol means he'll have to go through the magnetometers. He'll be fingerprinted after he surrenders, and he'll also, yes, we anticipate, take a mugshot. And we know that that mugshot will be made available fairly quickly because they've done this before. 11 of the last, 11 of the 18
Heroes work here.
of the former president have turned themselves in, and their mugshots have been released.
Sheriff
including
Patrick
former White
Pat
House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, who
Labott.
turned himself in today and was released on a $100,000 bond. That mugshot will be made available for the public, for everyone to see. It even
Did he
includes
say 11 of the last 18 presidents?
so
Yeah.
I'll give you an idea.
Oh, wow.
as to,
I didn't know that.
How much information we'll get. Obviously, this is the fourth time that the former president has gone through something like this, his fourth criminal case, but this is the first time that he's had to, go in and be booked like this and have a mugshot taken. It'll be the first time he'll also have to pay a bond to be released. He'll have to pay a $200,000 bond to be released from that Fulton County jail. I think also, Laura, I want people to understand is that when they're looking at this jail right now, this is not a
W
normal
said thank you. He's listening while he's driving.
under, DOJ
He wanted to watch it.
investigation for
Yeah, you're
detention
welcome.
conditions and excessive violence, Laura.
Brian, thank you so much. I want to bring back Saul Weisenberg and Mike Davis. Saul, just again, paint this picture of how unusual and striking this scene is with a former president being brought into a stridently Democrat district to be processed in this manner for what amounts to mostly disputing the results of the election and deciding to, take various measures to perhaps allow for challenges to go forward and alternate slate of electors.
Yeah, Joe, she's trying to push it up to October. But the right to a speedy trial is only the privilege of the defendant, not the DA. And in most cases like this, especially the document one in DC and this one here, the average time for going to trial going indicted is 18 to 24 months.
Well, do you see what Saul Weisenberg just said? That the prosecutors, the judges, and everybody in Georgia campaigned on taking out Trump.
Oh yeah, that was her running slogan for her campaign was.
In this country, all of a sudden thinking and taking it upon themselves. I think I'm going to indict the president of the United States, who's very unpopular in my county and my district. I think it's a road that we don't want to take. Federal prosecution is a completely different thing if there's a valid case. But when you start getting these state prosecutors who can be notorious for publicity seeking and,
he's taking his mugshot and getting fingerprints done right now, John.
I think it's something people should think very.
He just pulled up to the county jail
The House Committee on the
in Georgia.
Judiciary is investigating Fannie Willis.
Boy, they're really zoomed in with that camera.
Prosecuting.
Yeah, because he's hovering way the hell out.
This could be quite something given her history. Your reaction to
He's
this?
5 miles out, I'll bet you.
The only thing the House can do. I think there's a lot more they could do, but sound off on this.
I'd like to commend House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan for performing necessary oversight here. There's clear coordination between these Democrat prosecutors and these Democrat hellholes of New York, D.C. to wage election.
Hellholes, Democrat hellholes.
They waited 30 months to bring bogus, lawless charges against President Trump, and now
look
all of
at
a
the
sudden,
states
they're demanding these
and their
fast
political
trials that just happen to interfere in the presidential.
who runs them, and kind of gives you a good indication.
Correct in saying we're not going to use
Can't really
federal
lie
laws
about
to
it.
here in this election. And if you're coordinating with the Biden Justice Department, including Jack Smith, that's highly inappropriate. We saw Fani Willis at her press conference. She refused to answer whether she's coordinating with the Biden Justice Department, including Jack Smith. And I think Jim Jordan's going to get to the bottom of that.
Saul, are you that hopeful?
Well, he certainly has the power. Congress has broad power to investigate if there's a legislative.
Yeah, that's
purpose.
true, John.
What I find quite shocking and almost unprecedented is you've now got the state and the federal authorities going after each other. And again, I don't think that's an area. It's very rare to have a House committee investigating a state prosecutor. We saw some of this when I was working for Ken Starr, where Bill Clinton got his allies in state government in Arkansas to actually go after some of our key witnesses. It's a very dangerous thing. It's a bad thing when that happens because people have to have faith in the criminal justice system. And so I'm worried about it. But I think he has every right to look into this, Jim Jordan.
All right, legal, stand by. We're going back to our political panel now. Molly, the Fani Willis is pushing for the first trial in this to be.
Hold on, so there's a state prosecutor that's investigating the committee?
So he
Yeah.
looks like he's.
Oh, nice.
Get it going, get it going. What does this tell you about where this might end up?
Yeah, she's trying to rush all of this because this is basically a kangaroo court. She wants to set up a show trial. That's
Cameras in the courtroom, it looks like, too, correct?
Yeah, the whole point is to make a spectacle. It's not actually to find justice. She is a very politically compromised person. She's been, raising money off of this, hosting fundraisers for political opponents of the people that she just indicted. She has a lot of baggage. And I was glad that someone mentioned, I think it was Saul mentioned, that the DOJ has been looking into Fulton County's jail because it's so poorly run. The Department of Justice actually has a lot of interest in Fulton County because the entire county is poorly run, including, by the way, how they run elections is very poorly run. This is a county that is not known for having good standards for how they run themselves, for how they protect the people in their midst. So it's a very serious situation, but the whole point is kangaroo court show trial here.
Charlie, people think, well, he can't get a fair trial, and he probably cannot. However, there are Republicans in Fulton County. It just takes one juror to say, I don't know. I mean, what is it, 30% or so Republicans in the district? You're not going to have one Republican on this jury. I mean, jury selection is going to be so important.
John's like, I'm heading there now to film it.
I mean, everybody knows about
Or no, Joe.
Defendant. The idea you're going to
So
find
he pulled up air data.
is, you don't want those people on the jury, frankly.
Which is why the timing is so important to them, and the reason that they.
That makes you wonder if anybody is flying a drone around them.
If we just get
Well, they
one-
are near a prison, though,
But there
or
are
jail.
also
So
Democrats in Fulton County who live in a hellhole. And I think it's so fascinating to watch this security detail take the president over here. You've got, 20, 30 motorcycles. You've got a fleet of Suburbans. You've got hundreds of armed guards. And the first year that Fani Willis became DA, she had 204 people murdered in Fulton County. 284 women were raped. Over 1,000 robberies. That's a 60% jump in murder in her first year. What does she do? What does she devote her first year to?
Campaign against
the political future of Donald Trump.
She wants to go after Donald Trump, and and it's so interesting. So you have
worry about your own damn county.
On Donald Trump.
All this is election interference.
Independence,
because they know that they're not going to win.
Manipulation.
Keeping their 204 neighbors from getting murdered in the first year, or 284 women from being raped in their first year.
No,
she doesn't care about
them. Molly, this is the thing. You have said this so many times and so eloquently. The left likes everyone to believe that they have the market cornered on compassion and caring and protecting democracy. But tonight, this picture that's unfolding in Fulton County,
market corner on
puts
compassion.
democracy, I think, on a knife's edge.
If you are imprisoning your political opponents for political issues, you're a bad person. If you're cheering the imprisonment of your political opponents for political reasons, you're a bad person. Like, this is not funny. This is not cute.
And you don't care about democracy either. I mean, the idea that they're protecting democracy.
Certainly don't care about the health of the republic.
Somebody pull out the all-tail.
This is how countries fail. When you, it takes a lot of work.
I would imagine they're flying, what, about a $5 million
Protect all of your
helicopter?
political allies, no matter what they do.
And
Oh, no,
probably $1 billion camera on
But what we had from the Democrat
I was talking about what they were doing, talking about in the chat.
full-on resistance against that.
I know Matt's Mavic 3 identifies as an all-tail. It might be able to take off.
How many times do we see that? Not my president. They never thought he was legitimate.
Identifies.
It is. He put an orange skin on it.
I know. I saw that.
You're also contributing. Yeah, exactly. You're contributing to the evil. If this is not stopped, it will continue forever.
Panel, thank you so much, both of you tonight. Now, so what does all of this mean for the election going forward? The judge just granted one of the co-defendants, as I said, Kenneth Chisborough, the speedy trial. Again, it starts on the 23rd of October. So Trump's lawyers are trying to separate him from that date. And right now, it's just for that one co-defendant. But here's what we could be looking at over the next few months. Now, look at how the court dates overlap with the primary dates. It's terrifying. I guess we don't have the graphic up. Joining me now, oh, there we go. There's the graphic, if you can read it.
Yeah, look at that bullshit.
Joining me now, Victor Davis Hanson, senior fellow at Hoover. Victor,
See that, Steve?
this is political.
Yeah.
You want to knock him off the trail, try to silence him, don't let him speak, take him off social media. It's all too dangerous. Nancy Pelosi will put the barbed wire up the Capitol, which is about a couple hundred yards away from where we are right now. You can see this all building.
Pelosi, there's a
He
fucking...
flew in on Trump force.
Absolutely, all four prosecutions.
Yeah, I couldn't get it pulled up fast enough with all the passwords.
They're all going to be.
Yeah, he flew in on Trump force.
Jurisdictions are going to be before left-wing jurors. Why couldn't there just be one conservative person, if this was so legitimate, somewhere in the United States that will also join in? But it's all political. It's designed to bankrupt his campaign, to humiliate him, to put his mugshot on every political flyer online in the entire race, and to post his.
I can already see the memes coming.
And it's also, though, Laura, very quickly to establish deterrence. They're telling everybody when this election comes on, if you question how we conduct election anywhere in the United States, no matter how egregious it might seem, that's a criminal offense. And that's a deterrent. And they're going to also tell people, look, if you're on the fence and you're considering being conservative or liberal, look what the penalties and look at what the rewards are. And so it's insidious what they're doing.
Yeah, fuck the government. They ain't gonna tell me what I can talk about.
These statutes that she's trying to create into criminality. Al Gore would be guilty in 2000. Barbara Boxer would be guilty in 2004 for questioning the elections in Ohio.
Keep an eye on it.
In 2016, Hillary Clinton.
So, Steve, this whole case, this particular case that's going on has to do with him just saying that the election was faulty?
Yeah.
Duties and
How the hell are they prosecuting him over that?
they would be guilty of a RICO Act. You could go all the way down.
Well, they're going to try to build it. Well, you know what this whole thing is with the other 19 people? They're trying to get somebody to flip on him in order to go for the prosecutors in order to flip. That's what they're bringing in all the other people for.
That's some bullshit, man. Whether
Trump is the most egregious
to me, that's a freedom of speech issue right there.
politicization of our prosecutorial system on the state and federal level.
If you're saying that somebody can't say that something
But
was
as we were talking about
rigged,
earlier, this is
and
happening
that's a criminal offense,
colleges
fuck
and
that.
universities, high schools, junior high schools, in the workplace, in the military, where people who see themselves as traditionalist or maybe Christian or maybe they're Muslim, but they're more traditionalist in their outlook, they feel like they're targets. Like they can't speak, they probably won't get a promotion, and everyone's walking on eggshells because, heaven forbid, the establishment bears down on them and decides to take them out, take them off the playing field or out of the workplace or out of the military.
Well, it's actually a sign of weakness. They have no confidence in their agenda appealing to 51% of the electorate. So on the border, on crime, on the economy, on transgendered issues, on any of these issues, they lose the public. And they know it, so they turn to these institutional protections and they weaponize them. and then they try to do what they can achieve at the ballot box.
And
In
the other
fact,
thing
New
I
York
wanted
Times
to
had an
say
op-ed
too is if
that
anybody
elections are bad for
wants to
democracy.
join,
They
you
don't
can
trust
just
elections.
join
They
the
don't
panel up
trust
there.
the
You
will of
can
the people, and they know
put
that
your
they're
voice
trying to
in.
force down the throats
Add
of the
comments.
American people an agenda that otherwise would
He
not
never
be
actually
viable
incited that
unless
riot
they
on
had
January 6th, though.
constitutional levers
He actually
and
told
gears
people
that
to go home. The news took a portion of that
work for
interview and
either by
twisted it.
intimidation or using the
Yeah,
laws,
what he did is
lawfare,
he
or
told the
big
people they
institutions,
had the right
FBI,
to protest
weaponizing
however they
DOJ,
wanted
and
to.
at some
Right,
He
point,
said,
we're going to
he
reach a
said go home
critical mass where
peacefully.
people are going to say,
Peacefully and patriotically.
we don't have a country. And I think we're getting very
yeah,
close.
but they twisted it to make it sound like he told them to go burn the shit down. That's not the case.
Election interference right now. This could be the long roll rigging of an election. This is the type of interference that we really have to focus on. Victor, thank you. Joining me now is one of President Trump's former attorneys, Tim Parlatore. Tim, you worked for Trump for over a year on multiple legal cases. What's going through your former client's head right now as he's inside? He has been processed, we understand.
Well, I mean, certainly this is a unique experience for him. I mean, he did it in New York.
You think it's unique, Tim? Really?
Well, for him, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little understatement
even
of the
though
year.
it's his fourth time now, but still, the way that they're doing it down in Fulton County is very different from how they did it in New York, and they're very different from how the feds did it.
They don't have to do what they're doing, do they? It's a discretionary issue. They're not required to fingerprint or to do the mugshot. They decided to do it. It's commonplace, but they have the discretion.
I believe so. You know, in a lot of these state prosecutions, they do have that type of discretion, especially after COVID. I mean, we've done plenty of cases where, you know, the entire case is by Zoom. But, yeah, I think that they did want to do it for optics.
Yeah, well, the mugshot of Donald Trump will go down. I mean, remember the mugshot of Frank Sinatra? Remember, you know, that's like a poster on kids' rooms in college. You know, so that's going to be on mugs. You know, the left will use
Exactly, W. They twisted that shit. I remember when that happened. And I watched the full, because like CNN, a lot of the news agencies were just showing
the
that
substance of what
one
Trump's
little
saying right
piece
now,
of the
but
clip.
opposition
When you
to the
watch the full thing, you
politicization
actually see what he said.
our investigative systems, our state prosecutorial, our federal. And I think a lot of people watch this go, this isn't right. We might not like Trump, but this isn't right.
And it doesn't matter. The Constitution says if you don't believe what the government's doing right, what are you supposed to do?
That's why you have the Second Amendment.
And, you know, when they
So
start
technically, were they in the wrong?
the people to
I
abusing,
don't know.
Yeah, things based on political positions, it starts to
They're
open
making up their own rules as they're going, is what they are doing. They are trying to rewrite the Constitution, just like our governor here, the piece of shit, is trying to get a constitutional convention so he can put a new amendment on, which would not delete the Second Amendment. It would negate the Second Amendment.
I look at it is such an
Because the new laws that they're trying to put here, in order for you to get a gun, and let's just say a rifle, they want to put 1,000% tax on it.
County prosecutor.
So when are you moving to Florida there, Steve?
She's only allowed to do what is in her county. She's
Got to
using
find
RICO
some place with not
funds
so much
far
humidity.
beyond her boundary. And if the RICO case falls, everything outside
And where David's at in Arizona, it's just hot.
because she's a county official. She doesn't even have jurisdiction over the legislature.
Maybe we'll move to Arizona or Utah.
Where, you know, the phone call
Well,
goes to the Secretary of State. None of that is hers.
The question I would have
Tim,
for
I'm
you,
so glad we
Steve,
got a
is,
chance to talk to you tonight. This is,
you know, the
this
talk
is
has
a
been
really
all the people moving to
disgusting
Texas.
moment for the United States of America. Someone
Is
who
that
lived in the former
better
Soviet
than
Union for a short time
Arizona
as a
or
student.
Utah or
I
what?
never thought I'd see
Well, it depends on which part. If you go to the like Austin, Dallas, and any of them, they are all those people that moved from here to there took their political beliefs with them.
Mike, what can you tell us about Trump's new attorney, Stephen
Well, the
Sadow?
four fastest growing states is Arizona, Tennessee, Texas, and
People were
or
saying,
Florida.
switching attorneys.
Yeah.
You know, Tim was a
And number
former
one in
attorney, obviously
number
now he
one
has
in
another
California,
attorney.
and
This is a sign
number
of
two is New York, of people leaving.
in their case.
There they go.
He's
The motorcade is back on the move. By the way, they're already processed, and they're on their way back to the plane. So that was quick. Go ahead, Mike.
I would say President Trump is gearing up. He's getting the best attorneys for the various Democrat lawfare around the country. He's ultimately going to prevail in all of the cases before the United States Supreme Court. This is lawless. All of these cases on every front.
Well, Steve's got his Daisy BB gun ready to go because that's about all they're allowed to have over there.
I won't say what I have. I take the fifth.
Best not.
2024. And I think the American people are going to say to these Democrat prosecutors and these Democrat judges and these Democrat juries and these Democrat hellholes of New York, DC, and Atlanta that the American people get to decide the next election. And that's what's going to happen. They're going to put Trump back into the White House.
Saul, so that was a quick processing of the former president. I mean, some of us thought, and myself incorrectly, that they'd try to drag this
Mark
out.
the taxes in California.
This was going to be a fast thing. I knew that was going to be fast.
Forms have to be signed.
Mark, the taxes in California are absolutely nuts.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, the whole thing.
She wants that.
Our gas prices here for regular at Costco, which is the cheapest place around right now, is $5 and
she may have a surprise. You know, you've got
29 cents a gallon
trial
for regular now.
Severed and start that
Nice,
trial.
Rudy.
They may find out. People may see how weak some of these counts are, particularly the counts that have to do with what is essentially.
Well, guys, I got to back out of here.
Advocacy.
Hey, Steve.
Thanks for allowing me in, Paul. Good to see you.
Hey, well, thanks for the comments.
Who's filed a motion to? I think
I'm just going to let it run for a while.
Yeah, I'll be listening.
Remove.
Okay.
Very, very good motion that gets.
I'll just pull off. Justin, take care. Everybody in chat, take care.
All the political
and
activity he says that he was charged.
We'll
with
see when the fifth indictment comes in now.
Under the Electoral Count Act and the Georgia state law on how to challenge an election.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
He may be in
What a parade.
Mike, the left.
Oh yeah, I like that gun, Joe.
Willis for her political future.
That was a nice gun.
They want cameras in the courtroom.
Which one?
They're desperate.
Joe showed.
On
He sent me a
television.
picture
You
of
know
his
the other
son's
network's gonna go
gun they bought not
24/7
too long
with
ago.
it.
There,
If you
AR-15
can't
that they
have
got.
for
Oh, the 300 blackout?
That could
Oh,
also
okay.
cut the other way.
I think that was an AR-15, wasn't it?
You know, I've just been told, a friend told me that your best bet is, you just get a semi-automatic shotgun and then you don't have to be
I
accurate.
think it's going to backfire, just like it backfired on the Democrats when they tried to go after Justice Kavanaugh.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
The rest of
Bye,
his
Steve.
life, and 4 Senate Democrat incumbents got sent into early retirement. I think Democrats are going to regret what they've done here because President Trump is going to be back in the White House after.
Like I said, anybody want to join the panel this late, Steve? You're more than welcome. You can come
In
on
the end,
with or without the
all
camera, with
this,
voice, or however you want to
these
do
legal
it.
Proceedings run their course. What the Democrats
Put your 2
have
cents
ended
in.
up accomplishing is ensuring that number one, Donald Trump is the nominee, and then number 2, we see the greatest political comeback of all time.
I'm surprised they're letting them fly right over the
That is the result.
convoy like
I
that.
mean, would there be enough hefty bags to hold the heads that would explode off the shoulders of left-wing partisans across the United States? But it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Well, it would certainly be ironic, and you see the effect it's had on the Republican polls for the primary. And I think the real danger there, from a purely political perspective, is being caused by these state prosecutors. I think people sense, like I said, they both campaigned. That's an ethical problem. They both campaigned on going after Donald Trump. That should be a recusal issue. On the federal side, that's, I think that the federal charges are something he's going to have to contend with. I part company here with Mike. I mean, we'll have to see what the evidence says, but the Mar-a-Lago case presents some real problems for him.
All right, Saul, Mike, thank you both for staying with us. All right, that is it for us tonight. Be sure to stay with Fox News all night for the breaking coverage of this. This is a new America, if this can happen. Thanks for watching. Jesse Waters, all the gang takes it from here.
I guess we're at the end of it now, huh?
Social media, Twitter and the like.
Welcome to Jesse Waters Primetime tonight.
I'm the only person on the stage who isn't bought and paid for, and we're going to leave them stone cold dead.
Booing is allowed, but it doesn't change the truth.
We don't need to bring in a rookie. The debate. What
the heck just happened?
My son did nothing wrong.
Hunter Biden, Air Force Two. There's more.
The ultimate luxury, the ultimate way to pamper yourself.
FEMA in 5-star Hawaiian hotels. We have answers. Plus the mugshot.
Let me know how those come out.
I mean, it's okay if FEMA's in those hotels if they're not paying 5 stars prices. You know?
Fox News alert. Atlanta Democrat District Attorney Fani Willis has just booked Donald Trump into the Fulton County Jail, where he was fingerprinted and processed and supposedly mugshotted. Democrats have charged him with crimes after he fought against an election he believed was stolen. The president will be addressing the media shortly, we believe, and we'll bring that to you live. This is another sad day in the history of the republic. Last night, there were 8 Republican presidential candidates who took the debate stage, with the frontrunner absent, yet looming. This was a big opportunity, and even though this was kind of junior varsity, if Trump wins, he only has 1 term, so the Republican bench was on full display.
Let me just address a question that is on everybody's mind at home tonight.
All right, Paul. Unfortunately, I got to jump off.
Okay.
Funny last name.
I'll see y'all later.
Okay, I think we might as well shut her down, huh?
Is causing climate change.
I'll see everybody in the chat. See
We're
you
not
later.
school children. Let's have the debate. I mean, I'm happy to take it to start. Biden was on the beach while those people were suffering. He was asked about it. He said no comment. Are you kidding me?
I'm the only person on the stage who isn't bought and paid for, so I can say this. The climate change agenda is a hoax.
I've had enough already tonight of a guy who sounds like ChatGPT standing up here. And the last person in one of these debates, Brett, who stood in the middle of the stage and said, "What's a skinny guy with an odd last name doing up here?" was Barack Obama, and I'm afraid we're dealing with the same type of amateur standing on stage tonight.
Come over, give me a hug. Give me a hug just like you did to Obama.
The same time amateur.
And you'll help elect me just like you did to Obama.
I think this is exactly why Margaret Thatcher said, if you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman.
Vivek Ramaswamy commanded the most attention last night. Was that positive attention or negative attention? Well, it depends on who you talk to. But the reason Vivek was percolating is because he's fresh. On a stage with 7 career politicians, a quick 38-year-old Indian-American entrepreneur with bright white teeth, he'll stand out. Just like Trump did in 2016. He didn't make friends on stage. He was interesting and provocative. He'll never be president. But he found a pro-Trump outsider lane and generated heat.
This isn't that complicated, guys. Unlock American energy, drill, frack, burn coal, embrace nuclear. Put people back to work by no longer paying them more to stay at home.
Now is not the time for on-the-job training. We don't need to bring in a rookie. We don't need to bring in people without experience.
Listen, now that everybody's gotten their memorized, prepared slogans out of the way, we can actually have a real discussion now. The reality and the fact of the matter is...
Is that one of yours?
The reality is, you have a bunch of people, professional politicians, super PAC puppets, following slogans handed over to them by their 400-page super PACs last week. The real choice we face in this primary is this. Do you want a super PAC puppet, or do you want a patriot who speaks the truth? Do you want incremental reform, which is what you're hearing about, or do you want revolution?
Okay.
And I stand on the side of the American revolution.
Revolution plays in a 2023 Republican primary. Vivek tapped into the spiritual vacancy we discussed last night. Mike Pence took offense.
We're in the middle of a national identity crisis. And I say this as a member of my generation. The problem in our country right now, the reason we have that mental health epidemic, is that people are so hungry for purpose and meaning at a time when family, faith, patriotism, hard work have all disappeared. What we really need is a tonal reset from the top, saying that this is what it means to be an American.
We don't have an identity crisis, Vivek. We're not looking for a new national identity. The American people are the most faith-filled, freedom-loving, idealistic, hardworking people the world has ever known. We just need government as good as our people.
Well, Mike, I think the difference is you might have, some others like you may have on the stage, it's Morning in America speech. It is not Morning in America. We live in a dark moment, and we have to confront the fact that we're in an internal, sort of cold cultural civil war.
Both men are right. There is a meaninglessness to life in modern America. Our screens are sucking our souls away. But this isn't something the government can fix. The government exacerbated the problem. DeSantis capitalized on that. Watch.
Why are we in this mess? Part of it, and a major reason, is because how this federal government handled COVID-19 by locking down this economy. It was a mistake. It should have never happened. And in Florida, we led the country out of lockdown. We kept our state free and open. And I can tell you this, as your president, I will never let the deep state bureaucrats lock you down. You don't take somebody like Fauci and coddle him. You bring Fauci in, you sit him down, and you say, Anthony, you are fired.
DeSantis was solid last night, stopped the bleeding. He had to, steadied the ship, but didn't wow us. The man's mission-driven. His most powerful message is this. This is what I've done, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm about to do. If you want emotion, look elsewhere. It was a display of record versus creativity.
Florida, we stood up for what was right. First, we had schools open during COVID. We eliminated critical race theory from our K through 12 schools. We eliminated gender ideology from our K through 12 schools. And we have elevated the importance of American civics. We cannot be graduating students that don't have any foundation in what it means to be an American.
Let's shut down the head of the snake, the Department of Education. Take that $80 billion, put it in the hands of parents across this country. We also have a federal government that pays single women more not to have a man in the house than to have a man in the house, contributing to an epidemic of fatherlessness. And I think that goes hand in glove with the education crisis.
The Republican Party is seizing on the education issue. You can't have that conversation without mentioning the single motherhood epidemic. These are deep and thorny social issues that our leaders must wrestle with publicly. But the media scandalizes that conversation because single motherhood benefits them, the Democrats, politically. And I was shocked that these candidates gave Joe Biden a pass. The president must be relieved, relaxing in Lake Tahoe, knowing no one brought up the bribe scandal, the Afghanistan humiliation, comparing Hawaiians losing their homes to almost losing a Corvette. We thought DeSantis and the rest on stage would rip Biden's throat out. Didn't happen. We were also light on solutions. The first round was on the economy, and not a single candidate told us how they'd reduce inflation or taxes. Would they fire the Fed chair? What's our trade posture with China? The crowd talked tough on the border, militarize it, shoot to kill, war on cartels. Those are Trump policies. What would that look like? How would you execute that? How would you stop China from importing fentanyl? Didn't hear it. Maybe there were too many people on the stage. And then a really weird moment occurred. Watch.
You all signed a pledge to support the eventual Republican nominee. If former President Trump is convicted in a court of law, would you still support him as your party's choice? Please raise your hand if you would.
If you notice, DeSantis looked around and hesitated to put his hand up. A lot of them hesitated. I didn't like that. I know you didn't like it either. By the way, Trump won the debate right there. Most of the candidates praised Trump, ignored him, or only offered gentle critiques. This is the undercard calculation. Chris Christie is consolidating the anti-Trump vote. Vivek may have cut a deal with Trump. We don't know if this was an audition for The Apprentice or not, and we don't know how much the Vivek resume is real, but he was Trump's lead blocker last night.
Whether or not you believe that the criminal charges are right or wrong, the conduct is beneath the office of President of the United States.
Chris Christie, honest to God, your claim that Donald Trump is motivated by vengeance and grievance would be a lot more credible if your entire campaign were not based on vengeance and grievance against one man. The difference between bad behavior and illegal behavior, Chris, and you as a prosecutor should know better.
You know what? I know a lot better.
There's a difference between bad behavior. And
I know a lot better than you do. You've never done it, like you've never done anything to try to advance the interests of this government except to put yourself forward as a candidate tonight.
Pugnacious Vivek was a lightning rod which kept the heat off DeSantis. We expected more incoming. Nobody touched him. That was fortunate for him. And that way, both Vivek and DeSantis won for different reasons. Nikki Haley turned in a thoughtful performance. Pence was aggressive, but sadly, his relationship to the Trump base is fractured beyond repair. Christie's the Trump mosquito, who will shoot straight and has all his chips in for New Hampshire. Tim Scott, nice guy, disappeared. Asa and Doug, nice guys, probably won't make the next cut. The next debate's the Fox Business debate, September 27th. The reality is this: the camera either loves you or it doesn't. Your delivery either pops or it doesn't. Politicians have to create emotional attachments. As much as they say this thing is about policy, people want to feel something. This country has always been about the voyage, whether it was landing in the colonies, pushing west on the frontier, winning the Cold War. America has always been about something bigger than just the moment. Where are we going? Why are we going there? That's what leaders tell us, and we're still waiting to hear it.
Ned Ryan's the founder of American Majority. Tommy Lahren is an Outkick host, and Sean Dumpy is the host of The Bottom Line on Fox Business. Tommy, how did you think everybody did last night?
I felt like I was going to say.
Okay, everybody. Well, thanks for being here. We just thought we would cover the debate a little bit because I know there's been some talks and rumors. Some people saw it, some people didn't. And Fox had the information coming in about Donald Trump being booked down in Georgia, and we followed that. Sorry about we didn't get a chance to maybe talk about some of the things you guys wanted to talk about, but it is what it is, and I appreciate every one of you. So what we'll do is we'll see all of you again next time. Bye-bye.